Giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Yeah. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by Texas Family Fitness. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Oh yeah, Cowboys gearing up for the Washington rematch. Y'all see it down there. And today we got my good brother, Akoye Media, joining us. It's Akoye Wednesdays this week. Wednesday. Say what's up to the people, Akoye.
What up, what up? Appreciate it, man.
Yes,
and that's
sir.
accumulated knowledge over years of experience, too, man.
We're going to get Akoye joining us later after the roundup, per usual. He's sitting in the green room just waiting so he can see y'all good graces that you're giving him throughout this morning. Coming up, like I said, we're going to talk with Akoye about the Cowboys, both offensively and a lot of defense, because defense seems to be the thing going around over the last 24 hours with the Dallas Cowboys. Is this the best defense in not just the NFC East, not just the NFC, but the entire National Football League? I'm starting to feel like just maybe it is. Akoye and I will talk about that and why we think this defense has an opportunity to do some very special things for this Dallas Cowboys team. But with that, I want to give some shout-outs in order. We got Fresh Fade in the building, Stage, TC915, my guy Tavis, Jazzy James, Miss Sheila, Mark Smith in the building, Sherilyn McKenzie, two times, Adrian Peasy, Iceberg Q, Angelica, Jonathan Dylan, Jacob, Lord Noble, what's going on? Dave Walker, Vaughn, what's up, man? Sully in the building, Stevie Mack, the my guy, what's up, Stevie? Keith Shep, Kevin Richards, EC Calvin, y'all in the building today, okay. Manny, Adam, C. Burleson, Rico, Lee Chambers, my guy Lee, all the way from 717. Royce, that's my bro, too. And over here on Facebook, CJ. Okay, CJ didn't come at me today. I like that, CJ. CJ said, bing bong. Who else we got in the building? Tim Garcia, Lance Bell, Larry, Peter Rizzo, Oscar Sullivan. Who else we got here? Chuck, and the many more coming through. Y'all make sure if y'all don't catch this episode today, y'all running back. Every time we got Akoye in the building, it is worth running back. I promise you. But before we get into the roundup, got to get to the butt first, which is the Eagles versus the Washington football people. Did you guys see that game? Bro, I'll bring Akoye. Akoye, did you see that game yesterday?
I actually didn't. No,
Okay.
I didn't want to watch it. It was
Hey,
foo-foo.
I
watched like 2-3 plays, and I said, nah, I got better things to do with my night.
Yeah, it was a waste of your time. Nonetheless, the Eagles defeated the Washington football people 27-17, which means the Cowboys, if they win on Sunday, they are the NFC East Division champs. Now, even if they don't, if the Eagles lose, they also win the division. And it would take an astronomical, a lot of things to happen for the Eagles to win this division, bro. Not only do they have to win out, the Cowboys have to lose out, and then they need help elsewhere due to tiebreakers. So Dallas is about this close to clinching the division in the NFC East, which we all know our sights are set way higher than the NFC East this year. And I think the Cowboys have an opportunity to do a lot more than just a division. If you look around the league, y'all. Look around the league. And I think another injury update. We talked about some injury updates around the league. Tampa, they just lost Levante David for the rest of the season. So no more Levante David. They're hoping to get him back for the playoffs. No more Chris Godwin. He's done, playoffs or not. Tampa could be getting knocked down just a little bit in those ranks, which means I think personally Dallas, climbs up in those ranks, and I don't want to say may only have to contend with one team. That's a bit arrogant, but there is only really one team that I think most fans say if you got to go to this place, it's going to be the hardest place to play in, and that's Lambeau. But we're going to talk about that later. We're going to talk about that later. I promise y'all. Akeem Talib, he brought up something very interesting. I want Akoye to hear, and I want you guys to hear and see if you guys agree. With that said, let's get into the roundup so we can get our guy Akoye Media in the building. Let's do it.
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
This is the morning roundup presented by Texas Family Fitness, your solution for your fitness goals. It's about to be the New Year's, y'all. New Year's resolution is usually to hit the gym, shed a couple pounds, get bigger, all that good stuff. But why wait? Why wait till the new year? Sign up now and get ready and get into your fitness journey by joining Texas Family Fitness. There's 9 different locations in the DFW area. So if you're in Texas, if you're in the DFW area, you can find one anywhere. I promise you it's worth it. But if you have more questions and you want to know more about it, just check them out at texasfamilyfitness.com. First up, Washington has this little brother syndrome with the Dallas Cowboys. They truly do. I call them a poverty franchise because they are. They got sewage leaking from their stadium constantly. It's just a poverty franchise with a ridiculous owner, et cetera, et cetera. But they took things to a new height yesterday. The Cowboys last week flew in their own benches because the Washington football people's benches didn't work. Okay, makes sense, right? Well, Washington got in their feelings and decided to copy the Dallas Cowboys and fly in their own benches to Philly and to Dallas this week. What kind of little brother, I got a problem with my ego syndrome is that, Dan Snyder? I don't quite understand it. If your benches don't work at home, instead of buying new benches to fly elsewhere, how about fix the ones you got at the crib? I mean, that would seem to make the most sense. But, you know, they're a poverty franchise, so they're going to do things like that. I just had to poke fun a little bit at Washington for doing Washington football people things. Shout out, though, to Garrett Gilbert yesterday. He played as well as he could play on 3 days. Almost beat the Eagles in that game. But we may see him. We may see Gilbert on Sunday. They only got 3 or 4 days to prepare, so we'll keep you posted on that. Also, yesterday, I was under the assumption the Cowboys would get Azor Kamara back on the practice squad. That will not be happening. Azor Kamara was claimed by the Panthers. So, he gone. And I wonder what they do moving forward with that position. If they bring back Osiris Mitchell, if they go try to pooch somebody else from a different practice squad, or if they just, get somebody off the streets. But Azor Kamara is no longer in the Cowboys' plans this year. I think the Panthers saw something in him, and he's got some potential. He's very raw, but they snagged him. Just like they snagged, I think it was F.A. Obata, if y'all remember him, the cat from, I believe it was London. The cat from London that Coach Durday found, basically. Coach Aiden Durday, the Cowboys' defensive line coach, will be out with COVID this week. So that means Dan Quinn will be taking more responsibility with the defensive line. But he's a defensive line guy. But what I was trying to do was put all that together. Durday found, I think it's F.A. Obata, who was a British defensive end. Was on the Dallas Cowboys for a year. Got picked up by the Panthers, and he had like a career year last year. So shout out to him. So that is the morning roundup presented by Texas Family Fitness. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me get my guy, though, in the building so we can talk some Cowboys football. Hold on, man. Where he at?
He's in the building!
There you go. What's up, good brother?
What up, man? What up? Can you hear me? Is this thing on? You can hear me, right?
We can hear you loud.
Sure. I just turned my mic off because I was watching some TV. I didn't want it all interfering with you. I didn't know if you could hear me in that. But yeah, man, I gotta say too, man. Akoye is accumulated knowledge over years of experience. Nothing against Nigerians or nothing like that, but some dude was like, yo, he's like, yo, he's I'll be rolling, man. He said, he said, I know quite a few Africans, man. You the only African I know who don't got no accent and really be talking like you from the hood. I said, bro, I'm American, bro. My name Darius, bro. I'm American, man.
They thought you was related to the bull who got drafted by Houston.
Yeah, they thought I was Christian Akoye nephew or something, man. I'm like, nah, that ain't my last name, man. That's an acronym. I got to start saying it more. I'm like, damn, I'm doing accumulated knowledge over years of experience. But now I'm kind of changing it. It's applied now. It's time to apply it now. So applied knowledge over years of experience, but it was accumulated knowledge over years of experience.
We was talking about that in the group chat, about the Illuminati group chat, how we all got our monikers, right? You got Fox, you got Skywalker, you got Akoye, you got Foots. But we got real names. Like we got Law. We got real names, yo.
Yeah, Law is Law. Everybody think that's his name. Like, yo, man.
Law Nation, Skywalker. Like, I'm cool with it. I'm real with you. As something happened to me, yo. I went to the Christmas thing down here, and by the way, which is pretty damn dope. I guess they do it every year at the Star. Pretty cool. We're down there. I'm not used to hearing it yet. Law been out in these streets for years. He's used to hearing Law and then responding. I heard somebody, Skywalker. I just kept going. Skywalker. Oh, that's right. I'm Skywalker. So I turned around, and he was one of the fans, and we were talking or whatever. But I'm not used to that yet out in public. Law Nation is. I was with Law.
It blew your mind, man.
It's crazy.
And I got a little tinct of it. I was in North Carolina. I went to the hospital in North Carolina. I'm in the food court, and somebody's like, Akoye, what the hell you doing here? My brother was in the hospital at the time. I was like, what you doing here? I said, how the hell you know who I am, bro? But yeah, that blow your mind. But go ahead, my bad. You was telling me that you and Law was out. And,
no.
You was already finished.
I was done. Yeah, it's just it's something that folks we really appreciate, and we do this because we love it, and the fact that you guys enjoy it as well. It's a cherry on top, man. Cherry on top, bro.
Yeah. What's good, Sheila? Too. I see you in there, Sheila. Sheila be everywhere, man. What's good, Sheila?
He said I'm American.
Oh, Sheila. Yeah, he was like, yo, man, you the only Nigerian I know. I don't got no accent, nothing. You got a beard. He's an African with a beard, and you don't got no accent. I said, bro, I'm American, bro. I'm from America.
I thought you were American. There's a meme out there where I'm not going to go into it because PC stuff, but just type that in on Google. And it's a funny meme. It's a funny meme. All right, let's get into this Cowboy stuff. Hopefully, y'all still sticking around. Y'all know how. If y'all new to this Akoye Wednesday or Akoye Thursday with myself and Akoye, buckle up. Put your seatbelts on. This is what we do, okay? We have some fun, but we also get down to the nitty-gritty and talk this Dallas Cowboys football. And yesterday, Akoye, you dropped a great, I thought, film session that kind of highlighted a lot of what we talked about over the weeks. And I do want to get into that. I promise you we'll get into the offensive side of the ball. But I want to give the people what we said we were going to talk about today, and that is mostly the defense. Mm-hmm. And like I said, the reason why I wanted to talk about the defense today. So Malik Hooker, I mean, might have had the game of his season this year against not the Washington football people, but against the Giants. So I reached
no might about it. Yeah, he did.
You're right.
Period.
He did. Yeah. So I reached out to Darius Butler, and I said, yo, DB, because that's your boy. Darius Butler played with Hooker his rookie year. That's his guy. I said, man, your boy is balling, you know? And he was like, yeah, he's flying around. And he said, and I was like, hey, man, I remember you told me when I had you on the show, when healthy, Malik Hooker is a top 10 safety. And I was like, okay, he has that talent. And I said, man, it's showing. And he said, I'm telling you something. If the defense is healthy, this is the best defense in the National Football League. I said, hold on now. This ain't just a Cowboy. He's not a Cowboy fan, Akoye.
Nope.
He's not a Cowboy fan. He's a defensive player that goes on every show, everywhere, and gives his unbiased opinions on things.
Yep.
Then I listened to Dan Quinn talk about that question as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and play what Dan Quinn had to say, Akoye, about the Dallas Cowboys.
I didn't hear this. I'm excited, but that's my boy right there.
Yeah, Quinn know he can't go too far left with it, but you could tell he feel good about it and that his players
want
should
to toot
feel
some
good
horns.
about it. He do.
Yeah.
But just take a listen to the question that was asked to Dan Quinn and then his answer to it real quick.
You're mentioning seeing how far y'all can go. Several of your players have said we're not a championship defense till we win a championship, but we have the potential. But when Trayvon was asked yesterday, is it where this defense ranks in the league, he said he thinks it's the best. Is that something you encourage because of the confidence, or where's that balance between confidence but waiting to prove it?
Well, I would say, one, that's what you'd expect, right? That, as somebody's going into it to say, hey, we like where we're headed and we like what we're making progress on. But to really, I would agree with them to say, to make your mark, it has to be, you talk about these things, postseason, not in season. And so there's no championships given out for, playing well on December, wherever we're at. So I think that's why I keep pushing on better. And sometimes better is small gains, but if you make some, I make some, and we keep pushing together, before you know it, you're making some pretty good strides. And it's a competitive group. I like where we're at. I like the mindset. They want to fight for one another, and that's a big piece of it. So, but I'd say we still, until you're at the end, you don't really get to say. That's how I've always viewed it. And you got to take on some really good teams and really good players. So for us, I think just staying in the moment of this week and this part about getting better, because if you look too far down the road, you'll get your ass knocked off. And I want to make sure we stay right where we're at and focus our time on getting better, even when you're improving. Then I say pedal downhill, go harder. And we should expect more from one another because we are getting better.
I love that what he says right there. We should expect more from one another because we are getting better. What you got to say about Dan Quinn's response to that question, Akoye?
I mean, you gotta keep his guys tempered, and he's right. When you're not, I always say, be where your feet are. If you're not, then you kind of you create anxiety when you don't. I mean, that's just on a personal level, but especially when you're dealing with 53 guys that all have to have different personalities and different backgrounds. Like some guys can take that, like a Trayvon saying that I can deal with it, but Dan Quinn can't be the guy resonating that message. If Micah Parsons and Trayvon feel like this is the best defense and they want to say that, they should say that. So it's not like they're wrong for saying it and he's right or anything like that. It's just like, as a leader of a defense that has to resonate a uniform message, it makes perfect sense for him to say, like, hey man, we can't look too far down the road. But on a day in, day out basis, man, the talent is there. We already saw that. Osa didn't play last week. Who else was out last week? It was Osa.
Tristan Hill.
See, you know how crazy it is? I never even care who's out. I don't. I never care. I think we can play regardless. So I'm never complaining about, who's out at any given time. So that just tells you that, we feel confident that anybody can really plug and play. And that's not arrogance.
No.
It's been proven due to the fact we've had to actually do it. And I thought we were pretty good in the beginning of the season before Tristan, Neville, D-Law, and we had some
Randy was in and out
at that time too. Yeah. So when those guys were out, I still thought we were pretty damn good. And that's with Chauncey, Osa, and, Hamilton, Watkins. Those guys came in and did what they were supposed to do. So, I mean, hats go off to them.
The reason why I think this defense, if it's not already, it's tough using the term best right now, right? Because you got to get into the postseason to show it. But one of the best is because of a word that we've used offensively, adaptability. I feel like Dan Quinn has been able to adapt better than any defensive coordinator I've seen come into Dallas since maybe Bill Parcells. I mean, and that's 100%. No knock on Wade Phillips, because Wade Phillips is a great defensive coordinator.
He did a good job too. He turned Jay Ratliff into a one tech, and that was like what? Jay Ratliff was a tight end in college.
But the way the big tuna was able to come in here and just turn the defense around from night and day, brother. Night and day.
Same players at that. Didn't bring nobody new. Wasn't no major names.
He got his guys he wanted, right? But they weren't these overly, talented type of dudes.
Just smart football players, yeah.
Right. But Dan Quinn has been able to adapt to everything. Lose defensive ends, cool. Michael, you go down, right? When we're ready to kick off AB, just do what I'm telling you to do. You'll get it together. AB's put together a solid season. Jordan Lewis, a career year. J-Ron Curse, a career year. You know what I mean? Defensive line, this defensive line may be, I don't want to say career year for all of them, but this may be the best talent since that 05 draft and that little era where we had
Spears, Ware,
Ratliff, Ware, and those guys.
Yep.
And
we made more than that. We got more talent than that right now.
We made a joke.
We had great starters, but we didn't have this depth ever.
I don't remember it. I mean, I don't know if Stephen Bowen was there, but even Stephen Bowen, I wouldn't think he's not a Randy Gregory. He's not a, you know what I'm saying? These guys.
You got guys like coming off the bench that's like we cut guys that were beating guys like Christian Slater. Like we got rid of Bradley and Nye, and that's a guy who I think could have developed into something here. You know,
Wait,
you see what I'm saying?
Kamara
and I don't know, but Kamara and Nye, I thought they would be great developmental players, and on a weaker team, they're guys that you would be rotating in right now. They can't even see the field.
Can't see the field. I mean, think about it for a second here. Boss man Fat can't see the field.
Think about that.
We came into
Sean Wright.
Sean Wright can't see the field. We came into this year like, yeah, man, you know, Boss man Fat gonna take AB's spot. He can't touch AB's spot right now because Anthony Brown's playing good football. And I know a lot of people still want to bench him, but this ain't. I'm gonna keep saying it. This ain't Madden. You're not gonna bench Anthony Brown who's playing good football and expect your rookie to come in the last 2 weeks of the season and then just all of a sudden be that dude against Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and them boys.
Right.
It don't matter who's oppo of Trayvon Diggs. It's going to be a tough go about it in the postseason, brother.
And don't get me wrong. Like if somebody get injured, I think Boss Man. It's not saying that Boss Man is not apt. Like he can come in and do the job, but unless barring injury, I don't think he should. You know what I mean? I really do think AB. And what are you saying as a coach or as an organization when you say, okay, you're having one of the better seasons of your career, you're actually doing the things we asked you to do and playing better. But the moment you make a mistake, I'm going to yank you anyway. You know what I mean? That's not a meritocracy right there, man. That would be favoritism. And we got tired of that last year when we had Randy Gregory sitting on the bench, right? So it's all fun when it's your favorite player that you want in there until it's a player that needs to be in there that's not, and we're losing because of it. Then you'll have a problem with it. So you can't pick and choose, man. When it's a meritocracy, it's a meritocracy, man.
That's a great point. And you see Dan Quinn is the exact opposite of Mike Nolan in that way. Just look at Jaron Kearse. Jaron Kearse was here to be a rotation guy, to be a special teams guy, your third and fourth safety. And once he got his opportunity, he stepped up, and Dan Quinn seamlessly, right, with no problem said, all right, Donovan Wilson, this is what you're going to do. You're going to be part of the rotation. You're not going to be the starter. No one gets up in arms, right, because it's flowing and it's
great
working.
Communication, too.
It's great communication.
Yeah, straight up communication, no BS. Like when you talking to grown men and you really saying what it is, man, I've learned that, like, you know, ask for forgiveness rather than permission, man. Just come out and say what it is that you're trying to do and then do it. You know what I mean? And Dan Quinn has been doing that. I heard rumors that he was like tearing people up in training camp, like just chewing Jalen out, chewing people out. But, you know, if he was, and if that's the type of guy he is, I kind of like that because that's how I am as a person. That's definitely how I am as a father and a coach for sure. Like I'm going to tell you where you are. It's up to you to change and do what you need to do and adjust. But I like the fact that he does it that way.
Yeah. Another player. Well, before I get to Malik, because I want you to kind of talk about Malik, I'm gonna bring up his some of his stuff from that game. And we joked last week, Akoye, hey, man, you got to start calling people out because when you call them out, for some odd reason, they just step up, right? They just come out.
I know who you're going with this one. Go ahead.
Start balling.
He damn sure did, though. Who next?
He did. And the one we talk about, it's not Malik Hooker, y'all.
No.
It's not Malik. It's my guy, DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence balled out, and I'm trying to bring up his stuff, too, but I don't have it here. So while you talk about D-Law, let me give some of the stats on D-Law. You can talk about D-Law here.
Man,
since his return, DeMarcus Lawrence has 15 pressures, 8 stops, 4 quarterback hits, a sack, a forced fumble, a pressure that turned into a pass defense that led to an interception, and 3 tackles for loss. I mean,
3 tackles for loss are sacks to me. Those are sacks to me. They're the same thing. You're just tackling the running back for a loss instead of the QB, but they ain't as sexy, but tackles for a loss count. But yeah, man, D-Law has stepped up to a different degree. And, you know, not that D-Law was ever bad. My argument with D-Law was that Micah Parsons was making an argument that we can play without D-Law, which I still think is the truth with the price tag. But as far as resurgence, I think competition breeds, like, it brings the best out of all people if you're truly competitive. And you can tell D-Law and Randy Gregory is like, yo, we can't let this young bull just come out here and just show us up like that. So Randy been playing like a bat out of hell, and D-Law came back. He left doing the same thing. He forced a fumble in the Tampa Bay game, same way, punched the ball out. Came back doing the same thing each week. he's been making plays, and you can tell he's out there. And the beautiful thing is him doing what he's doing consistently on the outside makes it so that Micah Parsons can stay where he is. And we started to see Micah Parsons' game elevate due to the fact that D-Law is out there on the outside, because we weren't seeing Micah Parsons playing like a cornerback when he was rushing the passer. You know what I mean? We didn't get to see what he can do in space as often. We just saw him up the sideline. That play that he just caught on that combination route, corners, Anthony Brown gets caught on that all the time. Like, corners get caught on rub routes all the time. That was a rub where they had he had outside.
J. Lou got caught.
Yeah, he got outside release. J. Lou got caught. He picked that up immediately. Like, most linebackers would have tried to carry their man after the rub. He knew that J. Lou wasn't going to get there. That was a way to hold him down, man. And forget holding him down and just making an effort by just being there. That's something that's a heads up play anyway, just knowing that that's what's happening.
Right.
But being able to make the play, cut the ball off without a pass interference, and make a play on the ball, that's like corners have trouble doing that. Safeties have trouble doing that. And those are things that we get to see now. That and that interception that Curse got against the Saints, due to the fact that he knocked Stills through the air. Like, we're getting to see those types of things because we got guys like D-Law back who can make noise without Parsons having to pass rush, man. So shout out to D-Law. He's elevating his defense to a different degree due to the fact that he's freeing up Parsons to be able to do what he does best, man, which is be that versatile Swiss Army knife that he is. And with Parsons and Curse out there, man, both of those guys out there being as versatile as they are, we're very tough to beat, man. There's not much you can do to us, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, you got an elite run guy who is, I said this before, I think if people can get into their heads that, okay, DeMarcus Lawrence may not be your Aaron Donald pass rusher or be your Khalil Mack pass rusher or whoever, Von Miller in his prime, that's fine. He's an elite run defender that is a really damn good pass rusher. Yeah. And I think he's showing y'all once again, just because you're not getting a sack every game, you can still make an impact on the game. His very first game, he had a strip sack. I'm sorry, a fumble. Forced a fumble that helped turn that game around and get Dallas one down and scored a touchdown against the Bucs. Same thing here against the Giants. I feel like DeMarcus Lawrence's playmaking ability may be second to only Micah Parsons, and he may be our biggest playmaker.
I got Randy though. I still got Randy. Randy
and
D-Law. You can argue that though. You can argue that. It. I wouldn't fight you either way.
I ain't gonna fight you either. You want to say Randy? I'm gonna argue that. It didn't.
And you got Trayvon.
I was about to say we didn't bring up Trayvon.
Yeah, they all over the place on this defense, man. And Hooker's, we about to lead into that, but Hooker looking like he about to be another one, man. This dude got a different speed than everybody on the field. It's a different speed. It'd be a slow motion, and he's still moving fast across the screen. I'm like, yo, he on one play in particular, he slashes down.
What you talking about?
See LVE trying to converge on the sideline, and he just comes down, cuts through everything. He's moving at a totally different speed than everybody else on the field. Period.
I'll pull up some Malik Hooker stuff here for y'all.
And it was in slow motion. I said, yo, that boy different, man.
Some Malik Hooker stuff here for y'all, bro.
That boy different. And he physical.
And that's one of the things that I said to you in the text message. I said, he want the smoke. You know, I feel like, no offense to KZ different. He built different. He more your free safety. But Malik Hooker want the smoke. We want the smoke. He's more physical than I ever expected him to be. I didn't see this in the NFL.
I thought he was a bigger KZ when I watched this film. I was like, he's a guy that can man up too, though. KZ can't man up.
I mean, watch the play he makes from back here. I mean, he got a first down, but he came up, engaged the offensive lineman, and made that play. And this is him blowing it up in the backfield. Like, this is a free safety we talking about, Akoye.
He ain't a free safety. Just say safety. He's just a safety.
True.
He another curse, man. That's what's crazy.
This is the play you talking about, I think, right here, where he flew down.
Yep. Different speed than everybody else on the field, man. Like, that's what you call flash. And when you're watching the film, you don't have to ask who the playmakers are because it shows up on film. Look at that. That shows up on film in the film room. You could be looking out the corner of your eye and you're like, what is that moving that fast in the corner of my eye? Man, off coverage.
I mean, just
off coverage with ease. Got his hips turned, got in and out of each break, no problem. Look at that. That's exactly what you want a safety doing too. He got his hips turned outside and then he cut inside. He still flipped his hips and made that play. Like, that's just, he's a versatile guy, man. I love what Hooker's able to do in this defense. Show that one again, man. That one right, that last play right there was crazy.
Run it back. There you go.
He just playing in the mess. Like he in the mess.
Yeah, he's very good in the trash.
Play.
That's why I think, again, no knock on KZ. If KZ wasn't here, Hooker would then have to play on the roof. But I like him in the role that Dan Quinn is playing him in, and that's everywhere. Yeah. He's like a joker.
Yep. And he's a handcuff for Curse. Like he can definitely do what Curse does.
I like that term, handcuff. Yeah, it's like a fantasy term.
Like if something were to happen where Curse was unavailable, I like what Hooker's able to do as well. Like I think Hooker's just, he's a little smaller, but he's definitely faster and just as physical. Surprisingly so.
It's nuts when you think about this. The night and day difference at the safety position this year from last year. When you got Xavier Woods and Darian Thompson are playing most of your safety snaps, and you come in, you bring in KZ, you bring in Hooker, Donovan Wilson finally gets his shot, and that now Donovan Wilson, who was your best safety last year,
is rarely here.
Safety now.
Yeah, he's rarely here, and we very rarely see him.
It's a beautiful thing.
That's crazy.
Let me pull this back up here. Yeah, man, Malik Hooker. I just think that he's a guy. Here's a guy, as Chris Collinsworth would say. Here's a guy that could be easily could be your starting safety if he was starting free safety, if they asked him to be so. But I love the position that he's in. And when DB told me, top 10 safety when healthy, I think you saw some of that talent that he has in him. Remember, first round pick, top 20 pick. It was always about injuries with Malik Hooker. Now he's starting to put it together.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hooker needs he deserves all his flowers right now, and I think that it's the right time for him to be priming or teaming up, man. We're going into the playoffs, so we're going to need his versatility and the fact that a lot of people are mad. Like we talked about it last week, him being it was crazy. It was perfect last week. I mean, it's perfect that we kind of segued into that and he had his better game. Maybe they really are listening, man.
Maybe
because we talked about the fact that KZ is like like an umbrella or a rainbow over the top of his defense. And he's a sphere, and he comes out and shows it in the very next game that he can do everything you ask him to do. So with people mad at KZ as they are, I don't know why. I think he's doing the best he can. He's playing pretty good.
Playing his role.
Yeah, he's playing. Yeah, he's a role player. He's playing pretty good. I like what KZ brings to us. But it's just the reason they're feeling that way is because Hooker is right there doing things like that, play in, play out. But the way Dan Quinn is, he's not a guy that says, hey, I'm going to have talent rusting on the bench. He's going to use it. So they're getting in rotation anyway. So, I mean, for those guys who have that Hooker versus KZ argument, it doesn't really matter. There's enough sub packages for these guys to both see enough time on the field.
And you see that. So when Malik Hooker, he's only played 30 snaps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times this year. Then listen to these stats when he's played it. 6 tackles, 3 stops. He only allowed 2 yards and 1 reception. The next game he played 41 snaps against Minnesota. He had 1 tackle, 1 stop. So I think he was playing that Malik or that KZ role because I think that was when KZ had the DUI thing, and I think they kind of were just letting him play up there at the top of the roof.
Yep.
Against the Denver game, he played in 33 snaps. He had a tackle. That game, everybody was kind of off in that game. Against Vegas, 4 tackles, a stop, only 1 target, no receptions. And then last week, 32 snaps, 5 tackles, 4 stops, obviously the interception. So when he plays, even when he doesn't play a lot of snaps, he's making himself noticed and felt on the field.
Facts.
Yeah. So,
facts.
That leads me into this next thing I want to bring up, and that's what Aqib Talib said. If we believe this defense is what it is, right, that means it should be able to go anywhere. And I'm going to bring up this statistic one more time. In fact, I
think defense is travel. That's a fact.
I updated this statistic, by the way. Updated it. Since week 1, which now is 7 games on the road, the Dallas Cowboys are giving up 16.8 points per game, 18 takeaways. I mean, that's absurd.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
I would have never thought that. No, I'm talking about 16 points a game. Is it on the road?
16.8 points per game on the road since week 1. Now, remember, the week 1 was the first week of the year against Tom Brady.
We played a lot of games since then, brother.
Exactly.
For real.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
And they're 6-1 on the road. And the reason why I list these names, because a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, you played Taysom Hill. You played, okay, sure. You want to say that? That's fine. You also played Patrick Mahomes. He turned the ball over twice and scored 19 points. You also played Herbert. He turned the ball over twice. Should have been 4 times. They took a pick away because they called
from KZ.
Yeah, they took a pick away.
No, from Curse.
Yeah. And then what's the other one? We played Kirk Cousins, who everybody's saying is having a career year. He only scored 16 points or something like that in that game. And then Mac Jones turned the ball over twice, and he caught Dallas on that.
Pick 6.
The pick 6 and things like that. So they've played good quarterbacks very well on the road. So you can miss me with, oh, well, they played trash quarterbacks. And guess what they did to those trash quarterbacks? Whooped on them.
Whooped their ass.
As you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't choose them. We just kill them. That's it.
Yeah, we don't pick.
You can't choose you. Yeah, it ain't like they saying, hey, man, give me Tom Brady every week. We can't say that. You got to beat what's in front of you.
Oh, and if it's that simple, then every other team should be doing that, right?
Yep.
And some people will say, oh, well, Teddy did this and Carr did that. Cool. I get it. You're not going to be a perfect defense every week, right?
Yeah. Somebody, they watch film too, man.
Yeah.
They watch film, they line up, they get paid to play, man, just like we do. And the same thing goes for like those who say, they were saying like, we can't beat good teams. I'm like, yo, Dak went out beating the Patriots. The Patriots haven't lost a game until this week. Since we beat them. The Colts beat them, but the Patriots hadn't lost a game since we beat them.
And all we have right now is these last 3 games to go off of with a fully healthy kind of defense. It ain't even really technically for there's no Donovan Wilson. You didn't have Hill or Osa last week, but whatever. We'll give it its almost full complement of health over the last 3 weeks. And what have they done? Gave up 14 points, gave up 6 points, and 17 points, but a last-minute touchdown against the Saints ain't really count. In 3 of those games, 4 turnovers, 4 turnovers, 4 turnovers. That's all we got to go off of. You mean to tell me you don't think this collective of talent can make it difficult for anybody? I would disagree. I think they could. Man. And
that's 100.
Aqib Talib believes the same thing. Check out Aqib Talib's audio from, I think it was Good Morning Football. He talked about who's the one team that can go into Lambeau and scare the boogeyman, Aaron Rodgers. That's what he had to say.
The best chance to knock off the Packers, got to go with the Cowboys. I look at the Cowboys and I think, I'm a defensive guy. I'm a no-fly zone, for sure. Alum. We can do so I look at it and I say, what defense can just come and dominate the playoffs? And I see the Cowboys defense, man, with that rush up front, DeMarcus Lawrence, Parsons, Neville Gallimore, Randy Gregory, them guys bringing the pressure up front. And then you got AB on one side making plays, and then you got Diggs looking like the best corner in the league. So you got a guy who can strap number ones. You send him with the number one, you get that rush. They got 21 takeaways, 21 interceptions. So, man, they taking the ball away, they getting sacks. They on fire right now, and defense win championships. Mm-hmm. They the ones who can go in the cold, go to Lambeau, and knock off A-Rod, man. It got to be defense. Mm-hmm. I think the Cowboys can get it done.
Are you impressed by Trayvon Diggs?
I am. That's another guy I spent a lot of time with Lieb in the offseason. And man,
what does that mean? What do you do with Trayvon Diggs?
We just talk football. You know what I'm saying? We touch the grass. I own a gym, so we touch the grass. We just pick each other's brain. He really picked my brain. I give him some little cheat techniques, pull throughs, and what I look for in cover 3, where my eyes at. Just, I give him a little help. You know what I'm saying? And he take that God-given ability, and he do the rest. So I'm super impressed with Trayvon Diggs. Them ball skills and that speed is underrated. You don't know how fast he is. That boy could fly.
He looks like a different player this year. You definitely gave him a cheat code.
Man, watch him guard over routes. Guys can't guard over routes. He closed so much ground on over routes and go get the ball. That boy could fly.
He got 10 interceptions.
Hey, y'all, this is not a Cowboy fan, okay? He's not a Cowboy homer. None of that stuff. This is, again, the second now defensive back that is paying attention to this Cowboys defense and saying these things. And I don't think none of them, being Darius Butler or Aqib Talib, I don't think they're lying, Akoye.
No, they're not lying at all, man. It's funny because in my Trayvon breakdown, that's exactly who I compared him to. Akeem Talib, man. So yeah, shout out to Akeem Talib for recognizing too, man. I didn't know they worked together in the offseason either. That's news to me. So yeah, that's dope. And yeah, I think that Trayvon is a big piece to why he's saying that as well, due to the fact that we can kind of anticipate what defenses or offenses are going to try to do to us, because we know in certain looks they're not going to go after Trayvon.
They're just not.
When we're in certain looks, you're not going to go after them. So we can cheat other things, and then beyond that, the way this defensive line is playing, we already see like if it's a totally different thing when you got a corner like AB and J. Lou were when they originally got here, Cheeto when he was here. You got corners that know your D line, you know, they okay, but if they don't get there on that game that they on or that twist or stunt that they're running, we're gonna have to cover for 3-4 seconds, maybe 5 seconds. So you can't jump anything. You got to chase your guy and stay glued to your man, which is why we were getting PIs and no turnovers, because they were panicking out there. They knew, you know, that their line wasn't really gonna get them the pressure that they needed to be able to like be as aggressive as we can be now. But right now, when you know the play call, you got 11, you got 90, and you got 94 going after the quarterback. You're like, man, we got 5 men rushing. I'm jumping this
now
one.
96.
I'm jumping because we know you're not man. Big Nev, man. I'm proud of Nev because number one, a lot of people compare them to Malik Collins, you know, because of their build and the way they look. But I said this, man, he's not just a 3-tech guy. Like Collins was a big 3-tech that couldn't play with as much leverage as I thought he should have. He
didn't want nothing to do with run game.
Yeah. Neville, he want all that smoke, man. Nev is he's just a defensive tackle. You can't say 1-tech or a 3 because he has 3-tech moves, but he has the strength and the leverage of a 1-tech, man. That play when he took the center from Washington, broke him, and then broke Heineke right after that with the center. I'm like, man,
he was impressive against the Giants as well. I mean, and these boys
are a different dude, man.
It's different. This is a different.
You can jump everything when you know those guys up front, man.
Look at Diggs' pick. You know, and shout out to the front seven for a lot of these interceptions.
You know how crazy this is, yo? I didn't know he had. I thought that was his 9th. I said, when the hell did he get 10? When did the 10 happen? I was like, that's 9, right? They're like 10. I said, when did he get 10?
Was like,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I missed one. I'm missing a finger or something, man. Yeah. That was crazy.
If you go look at that play, Diggs, this is the relationship, chicken and egg, right? Is it the secondary? Is it they have to play together? Diggs,
100%.
Listen to what Akeem Talib said. If you guys want to go back and run that back, he said, "I'm giving him pointers on how to cheat in and look and when to look and things like that.
Where my eyes are in cover 3.
Diggs is so much better with his eyes this year. He's not people keep saying, oh, well, he's getting beat from cheating in. He might have got beat one time this year from cheating in. But last year was more because he's a rookie. This year, I think you can see him hone in that Akeem Talib advice, and he knows he has a feel of where the receiver is, and he has the makeup speed to, all right, I can give him a yard. I'm good. I can make it here. But real quick, go watch the interception. He saw the rush get to Glennon. Glennon rolls out. Diggs' arm here, eyes at the quarterback. He's rolling out. I know he can't get this ball over top of me because I got the end zone. So he's playing underneath Galladay, and he's just waiting. If it's an underthrow, it's a pick. If he overthrows it, I got enough makeup speed to go get there and knock it down or what have you. Underthrew it, interception, gets 10. Diggs is playing at a different level this year. And that pass rush, I wouldn't want to try him. You better make a perfect throw if the pass rush comes to you. Other than that, keep targeting AB, keep targeting Jordan Lewis.
Yep. You know something to pay attention to, and this is how you know when a guy is good. When you're pointing out a time where he got beat to prove how good he really is, though. But that touchdown that he gave up in Washington versus Sims, where Sims, you know, he's running, and the reason corners don't look back is because it's hard to run full speed while looking back at the ball. So that's why AB has trouble looking back, because he doesn't want to lose ground.
Come on, Diggs.
No, that's why AB doesn't look back, because he doesn't want to lose ground while trying to keep up with his man. But Diggs, when he got beat by Sims, is running because Akeem Talib said he could fly, right? This proves it. He's running full speed ahead. He let Sims ahead of him. He's running full speed ahead, and watch how he covers ground while tracking the ball the entire time. He never looks for Sims at all. He just finds Sims when Sims finds the ball. He tracks the ball to Sims. He doesn't look at Sims at all. He's looking at the ball the whole time.
And he was there.
And but flying. So it's hard to run full speed ahead with your head turned backwards. And he was flying with his head backwards. So that shows how fast Diggs really is, man. And he's a different type of cat. But I was saying AB because AB has so much trouble. We're like, why don't you turn for the ball? Because that's hard as hell to do. Like to run while looking at the ball. What corners do, they'll glance at the ball, but then they try to cover ground, right? He stared at the ball the whole time. I don't see that many corners do that.
I think the term that DB calls it, I try to pay attention to when he says, I think is in phase. And you can help me out if I'm saying this and doing this right. In phase meaning if you're in phase with the wide receiver, usually you can turn and look for the ball. Meaning if I got a physical contact with the wide receiver, I can look for the ball because I know where he's at. But if I'm out of phase, then I'm not going to turn my head because if I turn my head, I could lose. He could cut in and I can lose the receiver. So I think Diggs, and really, I'm going to be real with you, I think AB plays the phase very well too. I watched the play yesterday. Better, yeah. Sean Hockley's crew, and I'm sorry, y'all, I don't mean to do this about referees, but this pissed
Did we have
me
them
off.
again yesterday?
No, the Rams did.
Oh, my God.
The Rams and the Seahawks. It was a 4th and 6. Dallas, the running back, his name is Dallas, by the way, leaks out. Gets, I think it was a wheel route or something. They underthrow the ball. The linebacker literally hacks my man's hand. He doesn't turn around. He's not looking for the ball. He hacks his hands down. They called no pass interference. The same crew that called a pass interference on the crucial 3rd and whatever it was on Anthony Brown, who did not, he was out of phase. Yes, he didn't get his head around, but he never touched him.
He put his hands up. The dude grabs his head. And I learned that from Madden back in the day, man. Madden said if you coming back through the defender has his right to his space.
Yep.
So if he's there and you come through him as an offensive player for the ball, that's on you. If there's contact, that's incidental contact because he has the right to his ground. So the fact that Zay Jones had to grab his head to try to go for the ball, he's coming back through the man for the ball. That's on you. That's on you and your quarterback. That's not on the defender.
I don't think AB could have played that any better because when he realized that, okay, the ball has been thrown, he tried to turn his head, but Zay Jones grabbed his head. So
and then he put his hands up after that. Like,
the
I ain't touching.
penalty only comes if he would have touched Zay Jones with his head not turned.
Never drew contact.
That wasn't a pass interference. That was a terrible call. And with the real pass interference was last night, and they never threw the flag, and it's the same crew. So, because that's the game everybody's going to be like, oh, well, look at AB. I thought he played fine coverage in that game. I thought he had 2 plays, that one and the one in the end zone that he played perfectly on the deep ball to Deshaun Jackson, and they called pass interference. I have no complaints on the guy. Well, could he potentially get the Cowboys in trouble in the playoffs? Sure. I mean, you're going up against Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. Those are great quarterbacks.
They're going to attack him as much as they can because you're not going to attack Diggs as much as you can. You're going to pick your spots with Diggs, but with AB, he's going to get it. Just let's face it, he's going to get a lot of targets each week. And the way he came back from that Raiders game, I got respect for him because the Saints. Shout out to Peyton, man. Peyton is a murderer when it comes to targeting what he thinks is, his opportunistic players. He targeted LVE a bunch in that game, and he targeted AB maybe 15 to 16 times in that game, and you wouldn't notice it. AB rose to the occasion in that game. So
that is a perfect
I got no problems with him.
Segue into the offense. So,
55. We need to be targeted.
That's a perfect segue into the offense. So here's what we'll do, man. We're going to take about a 30-second break. Y'all get sip on your coffee, your latte Larry's, get your water or whatever. If you got to go file some paperwork at work, because I know how it is. I used to be the same way. I'm sitting here listening. I got my earphones in at work, trying to sneak listen to the podcast. Do what you got to do real quick so you don't get in trouble. Give us like 30 seconds. We're going to come back. And we're going to talk about some of this, the offense, and what we saw in that Giants game, and the things we want to see more of, and who the hell to target. I mean, we'll talk about more of it. Oh yeah, so give us about 30 seconds.
Where else you want to go? Don't nobody do it like us, bro. Oh my goodness. We beat the brakes off y'all. Whoop that trick.
I think that they seriously are holding plays back because it's no way you just totally ignore the middle of the field. We play flood concepts where they're just flooding the outside against cover 4, where that's where they are. Like, why are we flooding? Why are we going over there with it when the ball needs to be in the middle of the field? You play with 55, man.
We briefly talked
throwing
about
underneath
this.
Made sense, but it was just crazy.
We briefly talked about it in the pre-roll, right? Where this question has been asked so many times on my show. I'm pretty sure probably has been asked to you, to the point where I think it got to the media. And I told people, I said, I don't know, man. I said, I think it'd be terrible practice in my opinion, but you have to ask Kellen Moore. So they did. So if y'all want to hold tight real quick, I don't even think you're going to be able to hear the Akoye, so never mind. But they did ask Kellen Moore.
Roll it. Let them hear it. It's cool.
Yeah, I believe it was in the first word that I did yesterday. They brought up that question. I wanna say it was the first word. Let me get to it. Y'all bear with me for a second. I'll get to that part, and then I'll come back. So just listen to Kellen Moore when they did ask him that question, y'all.
Just start off talking about the run game, especially in the first half. You seem to find some things there, just where you are and kind of what went into an improved run effort yesterday overall.
So we're taking steps. In the run game, I think we did some nice things in there. I thought some of the gap stuff, we're pulling our guys maybe a little bit more than we have in the last few weeks. And I think it's been really beneficial for our guys. And we got Mac back involved a little bit in the backfield. I thought that was beneficial for us. And so I thought there were some really nice things to build off of there.
Do you save plays for, let's say, like you guys are in position now of playing postseason? Or are you trying to, if there's going to be a play that you would use in the postseason, you want to see it during the regular season?
It's a great question. We're still trying to win games, so if something helps us win a game, I feel like we'll utilize it. And if we ever get into a different situation, then we'll obviously handle it differently. But to me, we're just trying to win ball games.
Maybe a week ago I said, just throw it over there, but
I don't even know how to take that answer there. I'll let you finish listening.
I heard it.
Okay.
Yeah, he sound like when you ask the president, like, why are we having these mandates? He just start speaking in tongues. When we got a situation, we like to utilize it. Like, what does that mean? Yeah, your answer. He said, "Great question." Like, right. That's you're already buying time. Why are you buying time, bro?
That's the
great
part
question.
That got me. I'm like,
sips water and starts like mumbling. Like, what was that? I don't even know what he's saying. What are you saying?
First of all,
when you get an opportunity, you use it.
How the hell is that a great question? John Machota, he was nicer than I would have been.
Oh,
are you guys,
kind of holding back,
saving some plays there, and just maybe getting the playoffs. Nah, man, I'd be like, listen, mother.
so when you ran the
playbook,
4 button hooks,
yes or no? When you send these dudes out here,
4 button hooks, were you using your whole playbook when you did that? We saw some opportunities there. We did it 5 times in the game. How you run button hooks, 5 button hooks, or comeback routes 5 times in the same game? Like, that's just craziness, man.
I'm be real. I'm with you, Akoye. And fans, there are a lot of fans that have been asking me this question. He gave you his whatever answer you wanted, but I'm man.
Yo, I thought it was preposterous, like, cause they keep saying it. I'm like, it's no way we're doing that. But then I'm like, hold up. When I watched the Washington film, bro, when I was breaking this video down, I swear, it's the only thing that makes sense. Cause I watched it in contrast to what we were doing the first 7 games.
Same.
I'm like, yo, we're doing none of this. 0. No motions, no, like that play where Dak got he rushed to the line of scrimmage for no reason.
Oh, the Giants
sacked. Yeah, he got sacked because he didn't get anybody lined up. They didn't try to see what anybody was in. He didn't recognize the blitz. I'm like, what are we doing?
Back to back, Akoye. They went back to back speed snaps with 2 minutes to go, over 2 minutes to go. And I'm like, why? What was that for? It makes no sense. This is a red zone opportunity. These things are
only
precious.
thing that makes sense.
So I'm not all the way on that train, but I'm just kind of skeptical of why the playbook has seemed to be shrunk, or is that the right term? Shrunk as the season is progressing. I get it when you're You're hurt, but you're not hurt anymore. Hey.
Nah, it's not that, man. And I think they kind of know, like, maybe they are saving their running backs. I don't know, but they know that they can run the ball out of these hawk looks and all that. When I'm looking at the blocking and the way they're setting up, we can run down anybody's throat when it comes to putting McGovern in the backfield. And I saw even in the Washington game, I usually pause. I didn't even catch it. I didn't even catch it. I'm in sync right now. I didn't even catch it.
Go ahead, I got you.
Shout out to Manscaped, man. Pause. That was a pause moment. We gonna get that.
By the way, his code term for his Manscaped is pause. I think that's hilarious.
Because I always say something where I gotta say pause. It's football, man. It is what it is, man.
I know.
Come natural, man.
But
Pause again, continue. But yeah, we know we can run the ball. We had a play where we were playing weak offset where we had Connor Williams in the backfield to the left with Sprinkle. And I'm like, yo, this would be the perfect time to run Sprinkle in motion, catch that defensive end off the edge, and then have Connor Williams lead block for Zeke. We throw the ball out of that. I'm like, yo, what are we doing? So when I start to see that time and time again, there's no way they don't understand this. I just got to give Kellen, I'm giving him that as grace because there's no other reason other than he's really slow for our offense to be doing what it's doing. Otherwise, something's wrong with him. So that's the only thing. That's the only saving grace. Like maybe that's what we're really doing. And I didn't believe it until we listened to that. Once I listened to that, I'm like, maybe there's some truth to that conspiracy. I'm glad they asked that question, and I'm glad he answered it like that because it just brightened my day up a little bit.
Great question.
Okay. Yeah, great question.
It shouldn't be
Drinks
a great question.
Coffee, great question. Great question.
Let me see how I can finesse y'all. Great question.
When we see opportunities, we still take them. We got to win games, what are you talking about, bro?
Let me add on top of it. Let me add some more conspiracy on top of conspiracy.
Hit it.
They came to Mike McCarthy and they asked Mike McCarthy, hey, man, why did you not call a timeout at the end of the half? Boy, I personally, at the time, I was like, what the hell's going on? But afterwards, I was like, whatever, right? But his explanation was we actually were going for the field goal because we did not believe that the Giants offense could score 12 points on us the way the game was going. So we were playing it situationally. And I'm okay with that. I am, because you have to play the game within the game. And I go back to Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley, they were like, why did you go for all these fourth downs in the red zone against the Chiefs? Well, because field goals ain't going to win that game. That's why we were going for it. Whereas McCarthy said, yeah, we could have called timeout, but what happened on the previous red zone trip, we got sacked. We didn't want to go through that. We said, well, let's take the points. We don't think they can score on us. You know what? I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that situation. So I wonder if, like somebody said here, if Mike McCarthy is saying, hey, Kellen, we don't need to do all this and all that against the Giants. Let's just go out here and be basic, right? Just adding a little bit more sizzle to that thing. I don't know. I don't like it. But
yeah,
they got their reasons.
I still think you score at the end of the half. You don't give the Giants no life, man. But yeah. I get it though. Mike McCarthy, the thing that he's bought himself is the fact that he has a Super Bowl and he's been winning. He has multiple winning seasons, man. And so I gotta listen to him
this year.
Yeah, I gotta listen to him. I respect him, man. Shout out to Akoye Media for doing Mike McCarthy's Akoye too. Go watch that. Shameless. What do you call it? Shameless drop.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. There you go.
Which one was it?
Mike McCarthy's Akoye. I broke down Mike McCarthy. Nobody watched it, man.
Snap.
That was like. And when he first got here, that was like a year-old video. I got to put that back out there.
Yeah, I wish I didn't delete mine. I did one with while Mike McCarthy is not Jason Garrett. And broke something down.
That's pretty much what it was.
People were kind of pissed we got him. I'm like, why y'all realize who we just had for the last 10 years?
They don't make Cowboys fans. We're like we got Stockholm syndrome, man. Yeah. We've been getting abused so long. We don't know what good is. We got to get right
PTSJG.
Yep. PTSJG. I'm still in that.
I've been calling that for the last 2 years. We got PTSJG. But back to Kellen. I wonder if it's not just an anomaly though with him, because think about this. Since he's been a play caller, I firmly believe this. I think it was George Bush who said this. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, can't get fooled again. Even though that's the incorrect term.
That's not what he said.
Even though that's the incorrect term.
You can't fool me twice.
I get what he's saying, though. You know what I mean? He said, fool me once, shame on me.
He forgot
Fool
it
me
in
twice,
mid-sentence.
You can't get fooled again. I was like, George.
But that ain't how that goes,
That's
George.
not how it goes.
He be like, no, at that moment, and I was a kid, I was like, damn,
I thought
this
that
is
was
our
hilarious.
president. That's your president right there.
President,
That's our president. Right now, I'm doing it again with Biden. I'm like, this is your president, buddy.
He be
This
sleeping.
dude is slow,
you know what? We ain't
man.
gonna get to the politics. I just think
my
Bush
bad,
though
my bad.
was
You already know.
our funniest, unintentionally funny president.
Yeah,
Dude was
facts.
unintentionally hilarious.
Facts.
But anyway, and I'm kind of like that with Kellen. Like, you could fool me once in 2019, but you can't keep fooling me again when it comes to this road situation. And I feel like this is a reoccurring theme on the road, where we kind of tighten up a little bit. We don't really want to do certain things that we do at home, so we kind of revert back to some Linehanian, Jason Garrett-ish type of things. So if that's going to be the case, Akoye, with the way teams are playing us, then I think you need to clean it up and switch some things up in the red zone, because you're going to be able to move the ball between the 20s. It's the red zone where I'm most disappointed with Kellen, is you're doing things down there that I just don't quite understand. Like, why are we running screens constantly and mostly on first down? Go, if you want to pick up trends, Akoye, go look at the first down, first in whatever in the red zone. It's a screen almost every
Remember,
time.
before at the 30, it was a reverse almost every time.
Yeah.
Like that's his moniker. I think that's just him, man. Yeah. Whatever he likes to do, he does it. If he thinks it's going to work, even when it doesn't work, man, he's persistent. It doesn't work. He'll do it until it works. Like, he did reverses, jet sweeps at the 30, literally every time. He might have, made it, okay, it's going to be Tony doing the reverse this time, or it's going to be CeeDee Lamb this time. But he does a reverse at the 30 almost every time. And screen passes are throwing on first down. I believe in throwing on first down between the 20s, but don't throw on first down when you get in the red zone. You run on first down, because, if you run and you get good yard. Look at that draw play by Zeke, man. Like, you're going to get plays like that where, Zeke doesn't get those type of opportunities. I'm like, I didn't even think Zeke can still do that right now with the way his leg is. And he still has some burst on that one. I think he's healing.
Just go straight.
Beeline. He was doing it in Washington too. If you're at the 12 and you run 3 straight times, you're not going to be at the 12. I can guarantee you that.
Facts.
With this, you're not going to be at the 12. You'll be more at like the 4, 3, whatever, right? Then you have an opportunity to go for it on fourth down if you want, because you're close enough to feel like you have confidence to get that ball in there. So I don't have a problem with that. But when you throw the ball, it's now third down territory. It's no more fourth down territory, because you're not going to gain that ground, and you're less likely to run at all now. I was just about to say, because you have an incomplete pass on first down. You're not running on second down. I gotta throw. And then if you incomplete on second down, you know what third down is going to be. And then this is why I said that I kind of start to agree that maybe he's holding plays back. Last week they threw the ball twice, first down, second down, and then ran on third down. I said, why the hell you give it to him now? So give it to him on first down.
Let me tell you why. This is their explanation.
Why?
This is their explanation, not mine. This is their explanation. 3rd and 7, they decided to run the ball because they said that they were in 4-down territory. But then they decided to kick the field goal. So they reneged on their 4-down situation because they only got 2 yards. So it's just a cluster down there in the red zone right now. It is. And if they can clean that up, though, I do think the Cowboys can win this way, Akoye. Like, I saw improvements offensively between the 20s against this shell coverage.
We've never had a problem between the 20s. We've been driving the ball up the field efficiently all year. We've been doing that pretty well, even when we're struggling. When we get to the red zone, we crap the bed every time. But we don't create situations for guys like, if Amari Cooper's hurt, tell me, because I don't think he is. Because Amari Cooper has his in and out routes. I watched Hunter Renfrow kill Xavier, what's his name? From Xavier Howard from the Dolphins. I'm like, damn, who run routes like that on our team?
Cool.
Amari Cooper. We don't ever put him in situations where he can use his route running ability out on the edge, like ISO him, trips right, put him out at the X on his own, and just let him do his thing. We don't trips right, put Gallup out on the X like we used to do with Dez. When if we can get over top of you, we throwing a fade route over the top. If you cover it over the top, we throwing Tony used to throw it to the pylon underneath and it was a back shoulder. Either or, that was our option almost every time in the red zone. And then if we started stopping that, we would fake like we're doing an in-breaking route, still back shoulder it. You know what I'm saying? Or just come across your face. Pause. My bad.
Oh, okay.
I caught that.
Oh, well.
I caught that.
That's too rough.
My bad.
Never even.
I ain't mean it. I did not. I not mean it. God. I did not mean it. I ain't mean it. I swear to God.
But
listen.
Anyway.
But you feel me though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like we don't do any of that. And then with CeeDee Lamb, same thing, man. Like CeeDee Lamb, I will say this about him. CeeDee Lamb is like scared to go across the middle, bro. Scared to go across the middle, and he better stop dropping the damn ball, bro. Like he drops the ball, like it's like he cool with it. It's not cool. Like he keep trying to do one-handed catches and stuff like that. Like just catch the damn ball, bro.
Yeah,
catch the ball.
What I would like to see Kellen do more is go back to things that work. Like be stubborn in that way. It's one thing to be stubborn with he's doing the opposite, right? He's being stubborn in things that are not working.
Yep.
Whereas what did we do with the only touchdown we got, I think it was, in the red zone against the Saints? Oh, y'all want a one-on-one? Michael Gallup, what you just said. If he plays over the top, I'll come my back shoulder. If he plays up, I go over the top. Sky's up, touchdown. Have we seen it since?
Not one. Not even an attempt. I don't mind missing those. If you throwing them,
I'm talking about an
and
attempt.
They defended, yeah, attempt it.
Haven't seen it since.
We don't even do it. Like it don't make sense.
Tony Pollard, week 2. Scored on a jet sweep from the 3. Have we seen it since?
Not once.
Okay. There was a play in 2019. Y'all probably like, Sky, you tripping. Where we had it, I call it the Pony Express. Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard. Did a fake to Zeke, pulled it. TP ran out, threw it out. They had blockers out there. TP gets 12 yards, making people miss. I have not seen that play since 2019, Akoye.
That is crazy,
I watched the Eagles yesterday run the same damn play. Jordan Howard, Miles Sanders, he put the ball in Jordan Howard's, pulled it out. What's his name? Hurts is rolling. They left Sanders wide open on the flare. Got about 20 yards on the damn play. You know, it's just things like that I don't quite get from a play caller. On Madden, I'm not an OC, but I tend to do the shit that work.
over and over again.
And over until you
this dude don't know. He don't know how to play cover 3. I got him. You gonna keep bringing that single high safety down in the box, dummy? I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're done.
So, you know, I just want to see Kellen kind of, and he's still kind of green. At some point, we got to stop saying it, but he's still kind of green as a play caller.
He ain't green no more.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I'm giving him a little, cutting him a
little
slack.
You got 4 or 5 years experience, bro. 4 years now. Is it 4?
And this is what makes me believe that what Brian Broaddus said, maybe he is just a collector of plays and he doesn't have, you know, anything to fall on.
Broaddus said that?
That's why, and people keep saying I'm saying that. I didn't say that. Broaddus said he believes he's a collector of plays, but he doesn't have a scheme to fall back on. And that's why I bring up the McVays.
I actually said that too. I said he's a great play designer. I don't have a problem with that. You just named a play that was crazy. You know, he does that. He has plays where he can trick you. He can design plays, but his situational play calling has always been in question. So the fact that Broaddus said that, I respect it, because that means he's just speaking what's on film, and that is what shows up. That's what shows up, man. You know, don't have a personality in the red zone. He doesn't have one. That's why I used to scream beta, man. Everybody get mad when I say it. But
I start using that.
Those is beta moves.
I start using it because of you, bro. I love beta. It's very beta-ish. It's not alpha-ish.
100.
Get down there and you get real soft and finesse. Like that's the last place you need to be doing that.
You know, and somebody was arguing with me about that pitch where he fake pitched to CeeDee Lamb against Washington and then pitched it to Zeke. And you know, I think we had an illegal formation, but he fumbled, right? It's not the fact that Zeke would have had a touchdown had it worked, you know. No, it's the fact that you're even calling plays that risk the football when you don't have to. A simple handoff would suffice. Yeah. You're going to get the same amount of yards anyway. It don't matter. Like, just line up, show them that you coming with power, and then run the ball, period.
Yeah, yeah. And I said this with Jesse, and I want to ask you this question. With the way the defense is playing, do you think, and D Shift said this about leaving the Cowboys offense may need to leave its ego in the locker room and switch philosophies. Do you think if the defense is going to be like this, if they're saying, hey, that's cool, we'll go out here and we'll take over these games, y'all just make sure y'all do enough. Do you think the Cowboys should shift their philosophy now, forget the fireworks, manage it a little bit here, get into the red zone and stay efficient? I'm with you.
I said that in the beginning of that breakdown I just did, man. I said you got to communicate. A good offensive coordinator is on the same page with his defensive coordinator. So there's no way you have a defense like we have right now and you say, let's keep risking the football when you know this defense is going to get you more at-bats than anyone else. So you can play a little bit safer when you know you have a defense that's going to keep getting you opportunities. You don't have to push. You don't have to do any of the cute stuff. Run the ball. Run the ball when you get in the red zone. You know, if you want to do cute stuff to get to the red zone, cool.
That's what I say. Use all that shit between the 20.
Right. Big plays, get there, cool. And if you don't get there, you putt. You no longer you put that drive in the 4-iron or what? I don't play golf.
I don't play golf, but I need to pick it up.
Yeah, you put. Yeah, me too. That's where the money at. but you put that iron away and you putt, bro. You pull out the putter and you keep it moving, man. That's the running game in the red zone, especially when I think that would eliminate a lot of the frustration that we have. And a lot of the things that we say about Zeke, believe it or not, a lot of the lack of faith that we have is coming from the fact that JG isn't here anymore, Linehan isn't here anymore. Those were the guys who wanted to use a guy like Zeke in the red zone, and they used him the way you're supposed to in the red zone. Kellen Moore has not, and it's like he refuses to for some reason. I don't get why. And then he comes up with packages that are built for it and still doesn't do it. Man. Why are we using the Hawk at our own 5-yard line? Why are we using it at our 5-yard line? Why are we not using that at their 5-yard line? It don't make no sense. You're supposed to spread it out at your own 5 so that you can see the field and make some big plays. When you get to their 5-yard line, why are we not using it there? You can't. And you got a two-way go because you got a guard on the left and the right, lead blocking in whatever direction you want.
I'll say this, Akoye, goal to goal, they're night and day. Like when the Cowboys get first and goal from like the 5, 6, 7, they're better. Well, the problem I have is when they get to the 20, the 12, the 15 or whatever, they're doing this weird-ish, right? And you're right. And I know you're being hyperbole, using the Hawk package on the R5, but what pisses me off, you're using that fullback offensive line package at your 25-yard line. Well, what? You got all this field, and you want to bring in McGovern on 1st and 10 to do what? Get 3 yards? I mean,
last week they had a drive. I know we beating their ass right now. We whooping Kellen ass. But last week we had a drive where we didn't throw the ball at all until we got to the red zone. We had Tony Pollard and Zeke eating up yardage all the way up the field.
Exactly which one you're talking about.
And then we start throwing the ball again and spread it out. We were in power looks all the way up the field, and then we went shotgun as soon as we got in the 20. I'm like, why do now? It's not like it's not like you don't understand what got you here. You've been running the ball for the last 7 plays. Why would you now be throwing the ball? It doesn't make any sense. So he keeps doing that. So I'm trying to save him with the conspiracy theory because that's his only saving grace. If that's not what he's doing, and this is truly how he calls plays, then Kellen can get out of here. That's really how I feel.
I'm with it.
If this is what he really is, he got to go.
Yeah, I'm with it too. But I hope it is a conspiracy thing. I hope they're just like, hey, we're gonna be weird in the red zone into the playoffs. But like I said in the pre-roll, I want my offense to at least be in some type of rhythmic motion heading into the postseason. I don't want this herky-jerky crap when we get into the postseason, because last thing you want is you going to Lambeau and you're 1 for 4 in the red zone and you lose by 6. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You don't want that.
That ain't the place to go playing around. Aaron Rodgers not playing with nobody, man.
Oh.
Neither is Adams. They not playing with you, bro. They know what they want to do in the red zone, and they do. Devontae Adams gets looks. They get 17 targets a game, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, bro. We got it. Ain't like we got the best wide receiver core in the league running comeback routes. Every last one. You can go get anybody to do that. You might as well put Noah Brown out there and Wilson and cut Gallup and CD then.
Yeah.
Or Gallup and Cooper. Keep CD because he's young. If you're going to run comeback routes anyway, you're not taking advantage of the talent that you have out there. These dudes, they all had, and they had that whole showcase before Washington game talking about all the different tools that each of them bring to the game, which is all true. CD, I'm a yards after the catch guy. We don't put him in position to do drag routes and do any of the stuff he was doing in college where you take him shallow across the middle, you get him the ball fast and just let him take off. He did that one time in the Washington game, made 2 guys miss, got a first down, didn't do that no more. We moved Holcomb one time in that game where we took Zeke, put him on a jet sweep. Holcomb goes out to the left. We threw a slant right in behind him in the middle of the field. We did that once. That was work. No, that was when Cedric did it. It was because Holcomb tried to man up on Cedric. No, it was another play where they
the CD Lamb one. Yeah, I call it the snap motion. We don't do that often.
Yep. We could have did that to Holcomb all day, every time they got in that look, and it was there all day until they countered it, and then the counter opens up another read for Dak beyond that. See what I'm saying? That's where those reads are going to come from. They're not going to come from Dak just lining up, hoping that guys get open randomly.
So
he'll know what's coming next based off of what the defense has to stop. They have to stop that.
Point.
Force him to stop that. Now he knows what his counter is to that. If Holcomb doesn't follow now because he has to stay on this slant, I could just throw the ball to Zeke now because he's not going to follow him, or they're going to get caught on this exchange. So now I know what the counter is, and that's how you have a progressive offense. If you're just saying hike the ball, post snap, and figure it out, he's going to get killed like he is.
That's what B. Bird brought up because he was asking, well, it seems like to me with the shell coverage, they're making Dak think. And I was like, well, it's not just Dak. Any quarterback. If your offensive philosophy is in the route tree is one where it's not going to stress or pressure a certain point of a defense, then all you can do is drop back and wait for the routes to progress and then have to find somebody that's in one of those holes. I don't think, and this is getting real nuancy and real X's and O's, so I just follow along because what Akoye is saying is very true. The way our route progressions are, they're not stressing the defense in the shell coverage. There's ways to still stress it. You talked about the flood concepts. You talked about the spacing and things like that. And you talked about being able to target a specific part of a defense. Do you go into this Washington game this week specifically targeting somebody, or do you say, all right, we're getting close to the postseason, we're just going to continue to kind of just do the same old thing? Because if we're going to continue to do that, y'all, well, this could be another one of those games. Dallas scores 24, 27, and you know what I mean? Like, I think Kellen can definitely attack an opponent's weakness. He's just not doing it.
That's the point. Like, he shows that he can do it because like I said, that one concept right there. Choose one. Even when we go twin, we went twin one time. We did it twin shotgun in the red zone. Zeke's out on the edge, right? You got Tony Pollard now. Zeke was out on the edge. They had Holcomb one-on-one with Zeke. They threw the ball over Zeke's right shoulder. Zeke just couldn't get to it. Even with Zeke injured, he still could have, if that could have delivered that ball a little bit better. But Koye, he still could have caught that.
Why the hell is Zeke do? That's not Zeke's.
It's not his job at all. I don't know why he's doing it, but they like to do it. You run arrow routes with Zeke. You're sitting right down right in front of Dak and just let him drop it right there. Stop running them to the flats because why make it a tough throw for Dak when he needs to check down? Him throwing all the way out to the flat, it gives the defense too much time to converge. If you just got a guy, you got Zeke just standing there. They know he's standing there. Run an arrow route, and if you're gonna have him standing somewhere, have him block up the middle so he can help Biadasz on his way out. Chip up the middle, and then sit down right behind Biadasz and say,
time.
Okay, if you need me, I'm right here. Emmitt Smith used to do it all the time. Yeah. Emmitt Smith was never a route runner, but he can catch passes, and he'd turn around from right there, and it was a running play because he's turning around, and now he's just making the guy miss going up the field. He used to do it all the time.
You showed the play
right behind the center.
You showed the play in your breakdown that I didn't even pay attention to that part because I was looking at a different aspect of it. But boys ran out in that zone, sent 4 or 5 different guys outside the hashes. Nobody was in the middle. And there was literally no one in the middle except
So
Holcomb.
Dak's holding the ball, looking around like this, and there's nobody running a real route.
Yeah.
Nobody. They're running right into the zone. They were in cover 4, and they had I know what you're talking about. We were doing flood concepts to the outside. You know when you run that? You know when you run that type of play where everybody's converging to the outside? When it's the end of the half and you're trying to get sideline receptions so that you can keep the ball rolling and stop the clock. That's when you run those types of plays. You don't run that play in the middle of a game. It's not the end of the half or the end of a game or a quarter. You don't run those plays. even if you do, you still run your running back right in the middle of the field, so that if nothing's good outside, you drop it down in the middle of the field. We weren't doing that. Don't make sense.
If teams don't come out of this shell coverage that they're playing Dallas, and by the way, you can't see this statistic that I'm about to put up. I'll read it to you.
I got you on the TV.
Okay, cool, great, perfect. Then, let me find the statistic because this is what's happening in Dallas. Where you at here? So the Cowboys played 156 snaps over the last 2 games. They've seen man coverage or man concept 10 times. So 146 of their 156 offensive snaps have been zone. 5-man concepts against Washington, 5-man concepts against the Giants. I thought we saw that happen against Oakland as well. If you want to go back to Oakland, they played a lot of zone. And people were under this assumption that, hey, the way to beat Dallas was to man up on them, stop the run. No. That's why Dak said, please, I pray, play us that way, because then I know where I can go with the rock very easily, right? So if they continue to play Dallas this way, in a kind of layman's term, how should the Cowboys counter this?
Remember, we were just saying the key word is flood, right? So the flood concept means you're flooding a zone, or you're running a guy out of the zones, but you're running routes where everyone's converging on levels on a particular side of the field or in a particular zone. You flood against Washington in particular. You flood the middle of the field because Dak likes to throw into the triangle anyway. He likes to throw like anything in the middle of the field, down the field, deep middle. He likes to throw there. It's easy reads for him. If you want to understand like what that concept really looks like when you're like making it simple, look at the Rams when they had golf. They would use flood all day. They would have cup shallow. They would have Cooks
high-low
deep.
concept. Yeah.
Yep. High-low all day. So it's an easy read because if I see a linebacker, if I see that linebacker step down, I know exactly what's behind them because I know what route's coming behind that. So I know I got the slant coming in behind that. If he converges back on that slant, I know I can just instantly drop it down. Quarterbacks do this a lot, especially on their hurry-up offense. They do it a lot because it makes it so that they don't have to get through progressions. Dak is very good at getting through progressions, but he shouldn't have to on every play. When you're using the space that we use where we're running guys in their own space, running routes individually, Dak has to look all over the field because we're not flooding any zone. So when you're running that against cover 4 or cover 2, you're playing into their hands. Whereas if let's look at cover 2, for instance, in layman's. Cover 2, just look at a cornerback, for instance, on one side of the field. That corner's playing 15 yards off the ball or down in the flat. When you flood that zone, meaning you're running a running back underneath that to either make him bite on the flat, and if he bites on the flat, you can run right in behind him with that tight end. So you'll have Schultz running a post corner right behind that, right? So you'll have a flat route, Schultz running a post corner, and then the slot on the opposite side of the field should be running like a deep cross. Teams do that to us all the time. All the time. So this is their read. The quarterback reads, okay, what's that corner doing? That corner's biting on the flat. I can hit Schultz fast. If that corner converges back, then he can still converge back, stop Schultz. That's what the corner should be doing. And he can still run up and stop this flat. So I won't throw the flat because I know that corner can come down and still make that play. So now what am I doing? If I have time, I now go from here to the middle of the field and see what that cross is doing. That's a quick, easy read. Dak does not have to come back across the field at all. And you'll have, on the opposite side, you'll have your X receiver running like straight up the field. Meaning if he sees a guy like either in man or he's playing cover 3 like Byron Jones used to, where he's down on the line of scrimmage pressing, you quickly got Gallup quick if you want. We even hit those all the time with Gallup. Gallup hits those all the time. But for us not to do that at all against Holcomb made no sense, because when you watch the film, I put the film in there in the beginning of that video. You can watch the Saints. They targeted Holcomb all day long, maybe 20 times in that game, because that's exactly how you play Washington. You make him choose, and whatever he chooses, he's going to lose. Now, the Saints were missing because he had Winston and they were dropping passes. They were missing, but those plays were there, and they're still there. They're there all day.
The Eagles put pressure on Holcomb yesterday, too, a few times. We talked about this in the pre-roll. Yeah. They would send the tight end over top of Holcomb, right? And then they would send a running back right underneath him, making him have to choose. If he plays up against Miles Sanders, you got to just throw it right over top of his head. And Goddard caught a couple passes like that. If he plays back against Holcomb, you got Miles Sanders underneath. Just drop it off. Easy first down or yak. Dallas implemented some of those overhang type of routes with Lamb last week, he dropped it. You know, I thought that was a great throw, great route. Gotta catch it. One thing I did love what I saw last week against the Giants that I hope we get more of is kind of that high-low concept with the tight end coming off of the block. So he's block, turn around. It's not a screen.
We could do that all day with the way Zeke and Schultz are actually asked to block quite a bit. Teams would never see that coming. You know, we could do that all day.
They did it twice.
Did that with Sprinkle.
That's what I'm saying. They did it twice with Sprinkle, and they got 2 first downs from it. And then there was one where they, I do love the play action rollout, high-low concept. Dak didn't hit Cooper fast enough. So it allowed the linebacker got back. He tipped it. But it's still there. That doesn't mean you don't go back to it. That play is still there. So there's some things, and I said this yesterday, 2 improvements offensively that I saw from the Cowboys last week, or on Sunday, last week, was there was a lot more pulling in the round game. I want to see more of that. And I thought they did move the pocket effectively enough in the first half. Now in the second half, I think they did the whole conspiracy thing where they struck the playbook. We're not gonna run everything. But I still believe, call it blind optimism, whatever you want to call it. I still believe the talent level on this offense, if somebody can get to Kellen and Dak and McCarthy in the same room with their skill players and sit them down. I forget who I was talking to. I think it was Jesse, and say, what do you guys like to do? What is it that you guys like to do that you think works? And just continue to do that over and over again.
Dak must have said, comeback routes. Give me more comeback routes.
Right.
That's what he said.
Give me some more Jason Garrett, Scott Linehan offense is what it sounds like.
That was crazy, man. That's crazy.
Oh, man.
And the other way you beat that, though, is attack Holcomb up the seam. Like, when you have two split safeties, that linebacker has to be, like, he has to play deep middle, period. He has to. So, it's just crazy. You either got it underneath. Like, that's why don't we have any drag routes? No, if you run comeback routes, run it right up the middle of the field with the running back. But it's crazy. I could say that all day, but it just don't make sense, man.
I want to see more, and this is crazy. This is being greedy. But I want to see more Cedric Wilson on some of these quick middle routes, because he may be – he's not better than any of our routes receiver,
like nobody else.
I was just about to say, he's a little bit quick and smooth with how he attacks that middle, and then his yak, he's just he just glides. So
he got 1 or 2 receptions in that game, I think, or one or 2 targets. But he had one play in particular, that in and out on Holcomb that you was talking about earlier. He killed Holcomb on that play. And I'm like, so why do you see something like that and say, okay, we got something here? We had 2 plays in that drive where we were playing with Holcomb. Oh, we got something here. Let's play with Holcomb. We stopped. Let's throw it to the outside now and see what those guys can do. For what?
For
what?
I don't know, man. Maybe it's that.
It has to be, or his IQ is just super low, bro.
Kellen be like, oh, that worked? And we're going to save this for week 1. That won't work? Save this for next year in 2022, week 7. We'll use this one for round 1. Fam, if you don't just pop these dudes upside the head and get out of here with this blowout victory and go to hell home, what the hell are we doing with this?
Yo, he said we're going to use that for week 1.
Next year.
Week 1, 2022.
All right, my bad. Listen, before we go, let's get some questions from y'all. I haven't really been in the chat. I hope y'all been enjoying me and Akoye's commentary here. I know we went in with the defense, and then we came back and wanted to talk about, because I didn't get a chance to talk to Akoye about the game this week, so I wanted to hear what he thought about the offense. He did a great offensive breakdown. If y'all can't tell, he was very passionate about what he saw too, as am I. There's some things to be confused about, and there's some things that we can take and move forward in this offense, I think, can win. I think you can win with the style that we saw on Sunday. You just have to convert in the red zone.
Just finish.
Yeah, just finish.
That's how we wanted to play. Like, I will give him credit for that. That is how I want them to play, like power football, getting back to some Jason Garrett with some explosiveness. Like, Jason Garrett had something with the power football. We are a power football team the way we're constituted up front with our offensive line. Period. Right? We have maulers. Like, they're not space guys. Look at McGovern. McGovern will tell you that he's not a space guy.
They pulled his ass out because he can't get
him out of here. He got uneducated feet, like, for sure. But shout out to
remedial feet.
Yeah, he got remedial feet. I don't like to say the R word. That's the other R. That's the one we can say.
That's the one we
can say. Yeah, that's what we can say. But yeah, Connor Williams came back and played a good game too. Like I definitely saw the difference. Like I missed him. That Zeke draw play. That was Connor Williams. That was off of Connor Williams'
You know that play
on Williams. It was Williams on Williams at that.
You know the lead draw, the play that worked excellently with Tony Pollard. That's the play that we used to see all the time with Tony Romo and DeMarco Murray. Tony would catch it. You go up like this. You get Ron Leary or whoever the other dude was pulling. You put the ball in DeMarco Murray, and they would just eat off of that at least 4 or 5 times.
You know where they got that from? Bill Parcells and Richie Anderson. They used to do that on 3rd and longs with Richie Anderson. Yeah.
So
Crazy.
I would love to see them kind of get back to doing that on a consistent basis. All right, but so here's what we'll do. No phone lines today, but I'll take some hashtag A to Z with your question, and me and Akoye will go ahead and attempt to try to answer it as best we can. So if you guys want to get kind of our commentary on your guys' questions, go ahead, hashtag A to Z, and we'll answer those questions. But first, I'm going to get into the super chat that I got from, I think it was D-Link. Super chat. All right, D-Link with the $4.99 donation. He says, why was Lamb doing a crackback block attempt on a down the field pass play? Some of the plays don't make sense. Get Pollard more touches on the edges, Akoye. He's talking about when Dak took the sack.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, so CD Lamb made a block on Carter. He disregarded CD Lamb, fumbled play against the Giants.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Was CD Lamb why was CD Lamb blocking at all on that play?
I don't know, man.
It don't make sense. But because we have Kellen and he's saving plays for 2024. That's why. I can't really explain that either. I saw that and I was like, is that CD? That was CD. And what happened? Exactly what's supposed to happen when you got CD Lamb blocking a defensive end. It was a sack fumble. Don't make sense. Yeah, I agree with you on getting Tony Pollard out on the edges. Get Tony Pollard the ball, period. Tony Pollard should touch the ball 15 times a game, and that should just be mandatory. If you're not doing that, 15 to 20 times a game is a problem. At this point, I think him and Zeke, you should have your running backs have the ball at least 30 times all together collectively. So Zeke 15 touches, whether that's in the air or on the ground. Tony 15 to 20 touches in the air or on the ground. And whoever's hot or whatever the situation calls for, that's who gets fed a little bit more that game. Like if we're in a power situation where, we're doing a lot of tough yardage, that's where Zeke will be touching the ball, man. And if it's a situation where we have guys out in space and we have guys like Holcomb who can't play in space that we're playing against, that's a Tony Pollard feature type game. So I want to see that.
I thought they did an excellent job attacking the edges in that Giants game. And I wonder if they did it because they saw that in week 5 it worked. I think it'll work, period, with any team because we got guys that can get out there. Collins can pull out there. Steele can pull out there. Zach can pull out there. Tyra can go. Williams can go.
The best game we played that way was the Chargers game. When you look at the Chargers game and the way we ran in the Chargers game, we were physical. Everybody was like in unison, in sync, and we were running off the edges, off tackle all day long. Yeah, I mean, off tackle and tosses.
Get TP out there. Even sometimes get Zeke out there when it makes sense. But just get
Zeke gets yardage on the outside too. Even when he was playing against the Raiders, when he's playing the Raiders and he was limping, he limped for 12 yards on the outside. So we can get to the outside, period. And that's where our best blocking talent is anyway. Because when you run to the left and you have Smith sealing, and then you get Williams and Zach Martin pulling. That's what it is right there, man. Zach Martin and Williams pulling, and you let Collins seal the back end, seal the edge for those cutback routes.
When you go right,
cutback lanes,
and you got Collins' big ass sealing or blocking down moving human beings, and then you pull Tyron Smith and either Biotis, or you'll pull Zach Martin out there, and then Connor Williams. You got opportunities on the edges, man.
And that's what they want to do. They want to get out in space and hit something, man. Even Williams, though we call Williams finesse, but what Williams is great at is getting in space, getting to the second level and hitting somebody. Oh yeah. And when he hits you, if he hits a linebacker or a safety, he's been killing them. He's been pancaking guys, man. So, he just has trouble with strong defensive tackles, but he ain't got no problems with getting to the second level and tearing shit up, man. Tearing stuff up.
Man, you good. I've been cussing on this damn time. My man Just Blaze said hashtag A to Z. No questions, just wanted to show love and respect to you two. Appreciate you, Just Blaze. Let me see. But he does, again, he just says no questions, just want to show y'all some love and also wish you guys a happy holidays. Happy holidays to you two as well, Just Blaze. Joey on Facebook, hashtag A to Z. Here's a question. If we really had to Zeke hurt, Pollard hurt. Oh, okay. If Zeke is hurt and Pollard is hurt, do you think Micah Parsons can play running back? Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that dude could do anything you tell him to do on the field.
I watched that man become one of the best running backs in the state of Pennsylvania for 2-3 years in high school. I mean, he was a man child. So absolutely, I think he can play running back for sure.
Yeah, he still is.
Yeah.
I call him man boy.
D-Link. Hashtag A to Z Sports. Why can't some fans appreciate the grind of a long season and be happy we're 10-4? I don't know, man. I don't really have an answer, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm happy we're 10-4. But what you got to ask this question though, and this is for those fans who are unhappy, right? Ask this question, I'm not asking the question to the fans who are unhappy. I'm just answering your question, but I'm speaking for the fans that are unhappy.
Right.
Why are we 10-4? What does the record do for you? The record gets you to the postseason, right? Why do we go to the postseason? To win the Super Bowl. So those who aren't happy are looking into the future a little bit and saying, if this was a postseason game, we couldn't have come out here and played this way. That's what they're really saying. And they're not wrong. They are peeking down the line a little bit, but they're not wrong. They are happy that we're 10-4. I know I'm happy we're 10-4, but I'm not happy to be 10-4. That's like saying I'm happy to go on a date with Rihanna. I'm only happy if I finish. You know what I'm saying? I'm not happy just to show up. You know what I mean? Showing up is showing up.
I think that's two different things, though.
That's the reason you're 10-4.
D-Link,
you're 10-4.
Are you happy the Cowboys are 10-4?
Yeah.
All right, that's it. That's it then. But there are legitimately people who are miserable because the way the team is playing and not realizing that you're losing. Don't lose the season because of your perceived expectations, fam.
Right.
Don't lose the season.
Be where your feet are, so to speak.
Yes,
right.
The season is you're not going to be
perfect.
perfect.
You'll be listening to people that's like snapping in my chest, man. You got to hear these dudes.
There are people who are miserable and who are coming for everything. It's wild.
Dak, they're like, yeah, we got to. Dak is just slightly above average. I said, what?
Fire Mike McCarthy.
I put it on Twitter. I said, so listen, bro. If Dak is so trash, right? Please tell me, what is your answer for what to do about it? Who do we go get? Who do we put in here? Gilbert? Or do we go back and get Red Rifle? Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? If you think Dak is trash, how hard is it to replace a quarterback in this league? Ask the Bears. The Bears are about to be gone because they don't have good quarterback play.
All I'm saying
the coaches are going to get fired.
I'm not fitting to be miserable on the season where we're potentially going to be 13-4. Now, we get into the postseason and we see what happens there. And then we're going to judge and analyze what happens in the postseason. But if you came into this year and you said your Cowboys is going to be 13-4, and I'm looking ahead, right? If you ain't happy at that, and then you get to the point, if you ain't happy at that, then you just a miserable ass human being. I don't even know what else to say. We're going to critique, right, each part of the team and things like that as we move along because that's what we do as creators, right? But at the end of the day, if you win the goddamn Super Bowl 21-6, are you going to be bitching and moaning?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Hashtag.
You got to teach them how to do some chakra healing. You about to start doing some Reiki healing on this joint.
I'm gonna go get the damn. What's the joint called? The you light it on fire. The smoke joint. What's it called, man? God damn. You know what I'm talking about. Sage. Sage.
Oh. Some marijuana.
Samson. That's what they need to do. They need to call Samson.
What's that stuff you get it on fire? He said, "What's that stuff you do like when you roll it up and you put it on?"
Stop. You know what? Let me stop because y'all gonna be like, "Scott, how you know?" Let me just chill. You know what I mean? Just a little
He said, "What's that stuff you get? You light it on fire and it makes you feel better.
Makes you feel good. It makes you hungry, happy, sleepy. That's all."
He said, "Sage." You want to talk about no dick?
No goddamn. You know what?
Said, what's that, sage?
That's what they need. I'm going to start lighting that for y'all miserable ass mud suckers out here that can't appreciate what your boys is doing right now.
Yeah,
okay?
Man.
What Cat Williams say? It gives you that F it syndrome. Yep. He's like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do about this lights. I don't know. Man, these lights. I was waiting to burn these candles in the basement. That's all you need. That's all you need. A little bit.
Right, man. Crazy, man.
They
need it.
It's hashtag A to Z. Professor O, would you like to see more play action? Currently only using play action 25% of our snaps. Always
work
love
if you
play
don't
action.
run.
Always
It don't work if you don't run. Do you want to be a quarterback turning your back on the defense when your offensive line is not blocking and you're not running the ball consistently to make them actually respect those play actions? Probably not.
I think there's two levels to it. I think there is a level of play action that works ridiculously when you're running the ball well, but there's also a level of play action that just works in general because as a linebacker, your first instinct is to come forward. So
on
sure,
RPO type looks, like when we're in a shotgun, it definitely works.
that way, some snap motion play action. There's some creative ways to get play action to get a guy to move, period, whether your run game's working or not.
You know what I used to like? Remember, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
No, you're
remember those stretch plays where Tony Romo will be darting out to the right, looking like he's about to hand the ball off to DeMarco Murray. It looks like a right tackle or like a stretch play. And then he just stops. And then that deep cross on the back end is always there on those plays because it makes the entire defense follow you to the left or the right. So, yeah, when the offensive line is moving, it does work.
Bill Callahan was here. And that was a Bill Callahan.
That's a Bill Callahan move.
Yeah. Bill Callahan.
I love those plays.
He loves the stretch. He loves the zone block. We don't do that no more. We almost completely eliminate the zone. Think about it. How much zone running do you see out there?
None. We would be fine with that too, with the guys that we have. Like we just say, block who's in front of you. You know, and we got rid of all these complex blocking schemes, man.
Yeah.
Because these dudes can block, man. They are maulers. I will give them that. I even give Steele that. Collins, even when he's struggling, will tear your head off.
Collins, one thing he don't struggle with is putting your ass on
blocking. He go. You go. He be like, who's coming with me?
Who's coming with me, man?
Because he taking you to the right. He taking you to the ground, bro.
That's true. Let me see. Got some more. Hashtag A to Z. Don the Orca Whale. Since Gallup has been back, has your opinion on buying or selling changed for him and Cedric Wilson? Great question. We did a buy or sell segment, and I think I bought bringing Cedric Wilson back for, if he's not going to cost a lot. But I at that time when he was playing, I thought he might have cost more than you were willing to bring him back for. But he hasn't been playing much at all, so maybe you can get him for the low. So I love Gallup, man. If you can get him for the cheap, sure. But I also like how we look with Cedric Wilson. I'm just saying.
That's true. But I always say when it comes down to money, winning solves all things, man. So if you win, you can convince guys to stay here if we go deep in the playoffs or if we, go to the Super Bowl, right? So winning solves that problem because Gallup doesn't want to go to the Browns, for some money. He'd rather stay here.
Yeah, it does depend. Sure. I think it does depend. You're right. Yeah.
Because, look at ask Cooks. Ask Brandon Cooks if the money is worth it. He's over there in the tech with the Texans.
They keep trading his ass. And I don't understand why. Brandon Cooks is a great receiver to me.
I'm just saying, do you think he wants to be there, though? Like, he wants to stay where career-wise, you got to think about that. Like, when they sent OBJ to the Browns, they knew they were hampering his entire career. So even if you get that check to go elsewhere, like, receivers aren't
a trade, though. Gallup has a choice, so it depends on the choices out there. Because
I know.
If he can go get that bread from I don't know, I'm trying to think of a team off the top of my head. If he goes, for instance, Washington, he ain't gonna want to go to Washington, right? Like
Green Bay or something like that.
But if Green Bay come calling and say, "I give you $15 million to play oppo of Devontae Adams," bye.
Yeah,
I'm out of here.
Most situations are different.
Yeah.
That's if that occurs. You see what I'm saying? But I've always felt like, guys understand, like, if you get a relationship with a quarterback, like look at Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison. They didn't want to go nowhere, man. They're like, we staying right here because we got this relationship with Peyton and we know what he's going to do for our career. They had Hall of Fame careers due to the fact that they
But if I'm Dallas, though, I also make sure I make a smart decision because, yes, you have this relationship with Dak Prescott and Michael Gallup and things like that. But you also got 7 games you saw without Michael Gallup that your offense can still be top-notch. Yes, Cedric Wilson and Michael Gallup are different receivers. They do different things. That doesn't mean that Ced can't step in there and your offense can still hum. We saw it. We seen it.
The offense can definitely still hum, but I got a counter for that, and it's on the defensive side of the ball. We also played, I don't even remember how many games, without D-Law, and we saw that our defense was still pretty damn good. There's a lot of money sitting in that situation. So either restructure, or if D-Law is not here, we don't have a problem keeping Michael Gallup, in my opinion.
So are we equivalating D-Law to Michael Gallup?
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
I would keep Michael over D-Law. I would.
What?
Due to age and not talent. D-Law is nice, but D-Law,
Akoye, you finna start a whole
injuries
nother
and age and
podcast.
his paycheck are going to cause this to be an issue, because you got guys, not just Michael Gallup, you got other guys on the defense that you want to keep, and you don't just log jam D-Law just because you like D-Law. I like him, so it's not a problem with him. I said his contract is going to be his biggest issue, period. But if it came down to keeping Gallup, who's young, and keeping our offense humming, I would rather keep Gallup because he's younger, and I feel like it's more upside
without him.
Cedric Wilson, people give him a lot of credit. Cedric Wilson, I look at him like he's okay, but I don't think that Cedric Wilson is anywhere near a replacement for Gallup.
He's not. They're different players, right? They're different players. They're not the same style.
One can be, teetering on number one receiver. Cedric Wilson will never be.
But he ain't a number one receiver.
Who?
Gallup is not a number one receiver.
Why
Michael
not?
Gallup is one thing, X wide receiver. Michael Gallup's not dictating coverages. Michael Gallup can't move around in different places, things like that. If my number one receiver needs to do everything. My number one receiver needs to be able to dictate the defense. I don't think he can do that.
Say that to me when we're losing every time we are, and they throw the ball up Gallup and he makes plays. Like your number one receiver needs to make big plays, and Gallup makes big plays when we need him.
I love Gallup.
You know who else had a problem running the full route tree? Who was a number one receiver?
You're gonna say Dez?
Dez Bryant.
Oh,
I heard that all the time.
Is Michael Gallup?
Was he a number one receiver?
Is Michael
Dez Bryant a number? Go ahead.
Who's more talented, Michael Gallup or Dez Bryant?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Of course.
Because listen, I love. You making me, God damn it! You making me put Michael Gallup against DeMarcus Lawrence and Dez Bryant. We're talking about these guys are freaking different. These guys are different,
bruh. I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like, y'all don't give Michael Gallup enough credit. Like, look, CeeDee Lamb has more talent than Michael Gallup. I would give you that. He can run routes better, probably a little faster, even. I don't know, but Michael Gallup has it factor, and he's not scared of shit. CeeDee Lamb is scary across the middle. He hasn't developed yet, in my opinion. He's not where he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be great. So then you got Coop. Coop will rev up that Lambo. He's a Lambo. Gallup is a Hummer. Coop will rev it up for 2-3 plays, maybe 4 plays out the game, and then he chilling. He go on the sideline playing chess or something, and then he come back out when you need him. Gallup, when we're losing, Gallup is that guy where he's done it time and time again. He made a lot of crazy plays for us, bro.
He's more important than DeMarcus Lawrence.
I wouldn't say he's more important than DeMarcus.
That's what you.
DeMarcus Lawrence is going to go. No, DeMarcus Lawrence is going to go because of multiple players, not just Gallup.
No. You said this is the only reason why I'm getting up in arms. You said you would get rid of DeMarcus Lawrence to keep Michael Gallup
and Curse and Hooker. No, what I'm saying? You can pay 3 guys with the money that you're paying DeMarcus Lawrence. No. 2-3 guys. He get $14 million a year. You can pay 2-3 guys.
You understand how much Michael Gallup is going to get? I don't think you do.
No, I don't. I really don't.
So we're talking about probably north of $14 million.
Oh,
north.
No, if it's like 1-for-1, no. I'm looking at D-Law as I don't think Michael Gallup's going to get that though, bro. He's not going to get
not in
He's
Dallas.
not going to get number one receiver money anywhere.
Fam, have you seen number 2 wide receiver money? Go look at Robert Woods.
I don't pay attention to contracts. Yeah,
I do. And what's the dude's name? Sammy Watkins. All these other number 2 wide receivers who are getting 13, 14, 15, $16 million. You think Michael Gallup's agent's going to go into Dallas and say, I'll take this $8 million. I'll be Terrence Williams. I'm going to take your $8 million when I can go get 14 from Baltimore or somewhere like that. I can't see it happening.
So you think D-Law's contract stands the test of time next year?
Well, D-Law he ain't going nowhere next year. Whether it be restructured, whatever. D-Law will be back.
But do you think he's going to get paid $14 million next year?
I don't know what he's getting paid next year. What do you mean, like restructure?
So if it comes down to keeping this defense, the other guys that we sprinkled in here who are on 1-year deals here, you think that D-Law should stay and these guys should just skedaddle?
You're bringing up hypotheticals that I don't think exist. The cap is going up to $208 million.
Just like inflation, bro. Price goes up, so does everything else.
Listen, $208 million, number one. Number two, you have a ton of restructure clauses that can create you any. I think it was my man Stevie who told me upwards of $45 million.
So you're the contract guy, like you said, right? So if that's the case, we can still pay Gallup and keep him here then. If that's the case,
that's fine. I just said if we can get him for a deal that they're comfortable with.
I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to. If you don't gotta chop D-Law's head off because we getting more money, great. I would like to keep D-Law here if we can get him for like some Terrence Crawford type money, $9 million, $8 million a year, where we had that type of money. But $14 million or elite pass rusher money, no. I don't think he should. I don't think he's an elite pass rusher in this league, bro. I think D-Law is a great player that's like good for this defense. You gotta have him? No. We've already proved that we don't have to have him because we didn't have him.
We're kind of at a stalemate because you're saying we prove we don't need him. I'm saying, well, we prove we didn't need Gallup. So we're kind of just not going to, it's not going to.
When Gallup's been back, since Gallup's been back, he's been making plays. What are you talking about?
Well, when Gallup wasn't here, Dallas Cowboys were 6-1 in the passing game. I'm not blaming this on Michael Gallup. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, his fault.
Cedric Wilson had 3 touchdowns. Cedric Wilson was making plays. Everybody was eating. True.
Cedric Wilson was also dropping passes and doing little, foo-foo stuff too in there. So let's mention that. And so is CeeDee Lamb right now.
Gallup
playing like
passes.
They playing like bussies. They playing like bussies with the B.
Yeah. All right, let's conclude this here. We are not.
Go ahead.
Well, you kind of were knocking DeMarcus Lawrence a little bit, but we're not knocking DeMarcus
I'm
Lawrence.
Him.
I'm not doing that.
I'm knocking him for $14 million. For $14 million, I'm knocking him. For $9 million, I love him. I love him in the $14 million. But for Khalil Mack money, no.
$14 million really ain't that bad for DeMarcus Lawrence. I
mean, now I guess because we've been making like you said, the CBA has the
I hope y'all
salary caps going up something crazy.
I hope y'all loving this. This took us off for the day.
This is a good debate. We could debate that all day, but listen to me, bro.
I know that's what I said. It's a whole other podcast.
I feel like if it came down to it, now if we don't have to, like I said, if we got more money, $45 million in influx, and we got those restructures,
that if they want to.
Yeah, if that were to occur and we could still keep Curse and Hooker and leave his money alone. Like, he got a family to feed. I'm not trying to come for his money because I don't care what they get paid. But if it came down to, hey, we're going to keep D-Law and let other guys walk on this defense. I mean, if Curse were to walk, I would be pissed, bro. So I would want guys like that to get their money. So I'm not a contract guy. So maybe I'm all the way in the dark on it. But if we don't have to get rid of them, we don't have to get rid of them to keep those guys, great. I like D-Law. But if it came down to keeping D-Law or getting rid of Curse, you get rid of D-Law. If it came down to keeping D-Law or keeping Hooker and Curse, you get rid of D-Law because we proved that we can play without D-Law this year, man. That's what we proved. So is his money really worth it if we were still winning and we were still playing at a high level?
So now
that doesn't mean he doesn't make plays.
Not
only is Michael saying about Gallup, it's just Gallup
more important than D-Law.
D-Law is your pet cat, and
but
Gallup
Hooker
is
more important than D-Law.
Hooker and Curse or D-Law? Which one would you take?
I would take one of those safeties, which would be Curse, and I'll go draft me a goddamn safety.
Okay.
Why can't you?
I said okay.
Yeah,
how long has it been since we've been to this year?
I'm not losing to Marcus Lawrence for 2 safeties. Are we kidding me?
What is easier to replace?
A safety?
How long? When was the last time we had?
Because this team don't do it, bro. That's the problem.
Well, I mean,
you asked me. You asked me.
History is the best predictor of future events. When was the last time we've had?
You asked me.
Safety.
You asked me what I would do. I would stop playing. I've been screaming this forever, Akoye. Stop playing with the safety position. Go put capital in it.
Oh, then we agree, but we don't do it. So right now we have it. I'm talking about what we got. We had guys like Heath out there trying to make them world beaters. You know what I'm saying? So this defense, I feel like this defense, man.
I thought DeMarcus Lawrence came back and showed you how really good he was. Apparently, he did not.
He did. He is. He's great. He's great. But now he's trade bait or cut bait for money, man. That's what I think he is.
Cut bait. This is wild. For money.
or he better restructure.
We're gonna have to
That's
revisit this.
That's
this
real
is gonna
trap.
go to a whole nother hour. In fact, we bringing this up on the next roundtable.
Let's do it.
We got
Let's do it.
because I'm pretty
We
sure
can
you ain't
rumble.
the only one who feel
rumble.
this way. So it's probably gonna be
It's
five of us.
split down the middle. It's split down. But don't think I hate D-Law. I'm not on D-Law like I'm on LV. So you're not gonna get me to tear D-Law up. I'm not gonna tear him up.
LVE
I'm not
is
gonna
not.
tear him up. Yeah, you can't tear D-Law up. I like him. Don't get me twisted. But like I said, money-wise, if it came down to keeping him, I don't know if it does. If it doesn't, then this is a moot point. But if it comes down to keeping him, or keeping 3 or 4 other players on this defense, I keep the 3 or 4 other guys, man. That's just me.
I'm gonna add some more sizzle to that fire, and then I'm gonna leave it alone.
Go ahead.
If you would have said this,
go ahead.
You move on from D-Law, but you move Micah Parsons to defensive end.
That's my point. I said we could play without him, bro. Micah Parsons is Micah Parsons.
Consider it,
put
but I
up
don't want
13. I don't want to.
I don't want to.
You like him.
Well, no,
like him.
because I like him too. I like Micah Parsons in the middle with D-Law and Randy Gregory. That's what I like.
But if we were to draft another middle linebacker like
ain't drafting nobody like Micah Parsons.
Yeah, you're not. But if you were to draft a middle linebacker and you got Cox back next year, and you can play serviceable middle linebacker, then you have a guy that can move around still.
It's a lot of ifs.
Replace D-Law.
It's a lot of ifs. When I'm talking facts, I know Micah Parsons, D-Law, Randy Gregory is formidable. I know that.
Yeah,
I don't know if
that's true.
Whoever you draft,
if you make that argument that having those 3 is more important than having having a safety that plays linebacker and plays over the. Yeah, if you made that argument, I can say that okay, maybe you could plug in another safety with those 3 getting the type of pressure that they get because they're going to make any secondary good. Okay, then keep Hooker, and you can still probably get rid of Curse and make that work.
Bring this to the round table.
Yeah,
we're going to have this.
I'm gonna be honest about it. I'm gonna cut it straight down, but first I'm gonna do my research on it, and then we going. Let's get it. Let's get it. Because it's a lot of moving parts there, but
it is
the same way you feel about same way you feel like, hey, a D-Law is irreplaceable because of his effort and what he does and what he brings to this defense. Okay. I feel the same way about plays that Gallup makes. You like D-Law has come back and showed you the type of player he is. Gallup has done the same thing.
It's not that I believe he's irreplaceable. It's just that I'm a believer of keeping top tier talent if you can. And I believe
what is Gallup? Gallup is not top tier talent.
I don't believe that your third receiver is more important than your best defensive lineman. I don't.
Why is Gallup our third receiver?
What is he then?
Oh my God.
He's not our third.
Lamb over Gallup right now. Lamb is over Gallup. Lamb has a higher ceiling than Gallup, but Lamb is over Gallup right now in the slot.
I think Lamb is the better receiver. Yes.
Right now.
I mean, he dropped some passes last week, so maybe it's not a popular thing. But
last week only.
Oh yeah, no,
he only dropped passes last week.
Yeah, he only had 3 drops. Only 3 drops before last week. But
that's a lie. That's a lie. They just not counting
statistically.
I don't care about the stats. I'm talking about balls.
So if we want to talk about drops with Michael Gallup, bro. Michael Gallup led the league in drops his first 2 years.
Oh my God, bro. No. CD Lamb is dropping crucial passes at crucial times on a regular basis, bro.
You can't
right
cherry
now.
pick, bro.
No.
You cherry picking. How you gonna talk about Lamb's drops when Michael Gallup literally led the league in drops his first 2 years in the league?
What is Lamb doing right now?
All right, we're not gonna go nowhere on this one, man. Because
I'm pissed off at Lamb right now. Lamb
exactly.
Is dropping,
you allowing what you say? Don't allow
right
emotions to take over.
Well, he's dropping passes, bruh, right now. I ain't talking about the first 2 years of Gallup's career. I'm talking about right now.
When the offseason
dropping passes right now.
When the offseason comes.
Yes.
And you're talking about.
And he's playing in the slot where he doesn't have anybody covering him really. He's sitting down in zone.
So Michael Gallup is our best wide receiver on this football team?
No. Cooper is. Cooper's our best wide receiver, and then it's a tie, in my opinion, between Gallup and Lamb. I don't think Lamb is better than Gallup. Like get Gallup out of here because we got Lamb, or vice versa. I wouldn't push Lamb out for Gallup, and I wouldn't push Gallup out for Lamb. I definitely wouldn't call him. He's just our number 3 guy. That's like a where Wilson is. Wilson is just a guy that's like a number 3 guy on anybody's team. Gallup is not a number 3 receiver.
He's your number 3 receiver on this team. And context
Depends
matters.
on who you like and what you like, bro.
Context
matters. I like guys that will whoop your ass and go get the ball. And CD Lamb is supposed to be that guy. Like I'm the guy that I thought CD Lamb could do what Gallup can do, which is go over the top, take the lid off.
He can.
And jump ball, but he doesn't do it. He doesn't catch the ball in
traffic. They don't put him in those situations. This is why
he has alligator arms.
What? Oh,
he's scared to go across the middle, bro.
You're upset with Lamb.
He's scared to go across the middle, Brody.
You're upset.
He is, bro. I don't want to prove that because it's going to look like an attack on him, and it's not. He's just a young guy that's still developing, but he's.
And so was Michael Gallup when he was dropping the ball all the time.
Yes, but
number one.
I wouldn't have said he was number one receiver then.
Number two, I'm not sure of this conversation if you've heard this about moving Amari Cooper into the slot more often and letting Lamb work on the outside because Coop it can route you up from the inside. I would love.
That's what I would do.
Right,
I would do that.
Right, and when CD Lamb was mostly working the outside this year, Akoye, when Michael Gallup went down, what was he doing? Balling.
Okay, what does that mean?
That means that he can do all those things you're asking him to do. But you said he got alligator arms. Go watch him in the first 7 games of the season. He wasn't having alligator arms. He was making these catches. He was
forgetting these drops, bro. You forgetting them. Like you counting the stats. They say, oh, he only got 3. I don't know what they counting as drops, but this dude been dropping the ball most of the season, bro.
We're ripping this team, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You're getting on Lamb. I'm really not getting on Gallup. I just believe Michael Gallup can go.
You said Gallup was a number 3 guy, like
on this team. Now he's not a number 3 guy in this league. He is a number. He's a 1B, and mostly for most teams, he can go be a number 1 for some other teams. But I don't think
D-Law is our number 3 pass rusher.
Nah, I think D-Law is your best defensive lineman. I don't care about just pass rushing. I think he can do a lot of things at a high level, and Marcus Lawrence has shown you that. We don't give enough. You say we don't give enough credit to
So can Osa.
What are you trying to tell me right now? I don't want to put words in your mouth. What does Osa got to do with Marcus Lawrence?
I'm saying we've already replaced D-Law. When D-Law was out, we played with Osa and Chauncey, and we didn't miss him because we were still getting sacks from.
We're not going anywhere.
From Parsons, bro. We were still getting pressure from Parsons and Randy Gregory, and D-Law was not here. We were cool.
Watch this.
We were fine.
Watch this. And when Michael Gallup wasn't here, we were eating. So we're not going nowhere.
You said the same thing.
We're not going. That's what because I'm trying to use different context, and I'm trying to be detailed with the players that we're talking about, and you're using the overall. And okay, if you want to use that, I'll just use the same thing with Michael Gallup. Like I don't know.
Slide. Go ahead.
We're not gonna go nowhere. It's just
you good at this though. I like how you debate.
I'm a debater, brother.
You good at it. You good at it. But we gonna go, bro. We gotta go. Next round table, we getting it, bro. I'm telling you. Cause listen. Let's just be clear. Let me just be clear on this. Be clear, because when you said maybe I did, but when you said that Gallup was just like a number 3 guy, it stung a little bit because Gallup is one of my. I like Gallup. I like his energy. I like what he brings to the offense. So that's what we started this debate.
He's a perfect compliment to this wide receiver core.
And the argument is not that I don't think D-Law is good. So I'm not trying to put D-Law in the category of an LVE who I think should get kicked off a bridge. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is we've done that, and historically we've done that. We have guys who are starting to get injured and getting a little longer in the tooth who are still good players. We did it to DeMarcus Ware here. So just looking at the way we are, Jerry doesn't pay big money, except for Crawford. I don't know why he's paying Crawford, but he doesn't pay big money to guys who are getting older, constantly injured, and cost a lot of money. That's not what he does, man. That ain't what he does. And I think that is going to be a reality in the offseason, in my opinion, unless he restructures. Now, if he restructures, it's not a conversation, bro. Now, I might be tripping.
Well, Michael Gallup was hurt this year, too. And that's probably going to hurt him.
That might help us.
That could help us. That definitely could help us, yeah. But same thing was said. And that's why if it came down to between the two and Michael wants $14 million and said you can get him back for like $4, I don't even think that's a question. I think you roll with it because you can still eat on the offensive side of the ball with Cedric Wilson, CD Lamb, and Amari.
You're not wrong. Like, we can play without Gallup. You're not wrong.
You can win with him. I mean,
and I'm not wrong either, though. We can play without Law.
We can. Technically, we can. Yeah.
Hey,
it's not,
it is what it is.
My bad, John. We don't win.
Yeah. This is what we do, though, man. It's all in love, though. We just talking trash, man.
No, we talking it out. It's just happened to be at the end of the damn show where we just did
we stretching it.
This could be a whole, and I can't wait for the offseason.
This is a whole show.
It is. I mean, in the offseason, we got a lot of decisions to make, and Michael Gallup is one. DeMarcus Lawrence may be. I don't think it should be, but he may be one. You got Curse, Hooker, KZ.
So you think when Jerry's looking at the talent that he has coming in here, and I'm not saying Osa's better than D-Law. That's not what I was saying.
Not even close.
Or Chauncey.
Yeah, not close.
But when Jerry's looking at the money he's putting out and the production that he's getting everywhere else as well, do you think he's saying, I need to keep paying this man more than I'm paying anybody else on my line?
They'll probably
he has
restructure.
To pay Randy Gregory. Like, don't make sense. And you got Micah Parsons, who's running right past both of those guys. I
don't want to move Micah. I will only do that if you need to do that.
I don't think he should play defensive end full time. I'm talking about sack. The reason you pay a top tier defensive end is because he's a sack producer. Your sack production, even if Micah stays in the middle, is coming from Micah.
Now we're getting into
that's where your sack productivity is coming from on this team. It's coming from Micah.
He's played 3 games so far. Like I said, he's got 15 pressures, 2 sacks. They took one away from him. They didn't call it a fumble, even though it was a fumble against the Saints. When he made the ball, Taysom Hill fumble, and they called it a pass. But
I'll give him that.
A forced fumble, that would have been another one. A pass defense, that would have been a sack, but led into an interception. 3 tackles for loss, and 8 stops and 4 quarterback hits in 3 games. What more? Like, you want him to have 7 sacks in 3? Like, what? That's production, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then in the first game that he played, he had multiple tackles and a forced fumble. So while sacks,
how many did he have in the games that he missed?
What do you mean?
He was gone.
Michael Gallup also missed 7 games. So
I'm not talking about Gallup on this one though. I'm talking right now. I'm talking about D-Law right here.
We're doing
you've already got me to admit that Gallup, we can play.
Okay. So you're basically saying
I'm talking about just straight up
D-Law.
Like, we can play with Wilson. We know that. I know that.
I would not cut. I think it would be such a terrible decision to cut DeMarcus Lawrence, man. Unbelievably terrible decision. I can see if he was Jalen Smith. I can see if he was LVE. Like, the production and he's declined. Like, his play is declining. Where do you see his play decline? I can see if he was was it Crawford? I could see if he was. I'm trying to give another high price dude that we cut,
bro.
Dez Bryant.
How many? So if you're gonna make those arguments, though, how many double-digit sack seasons does our DeMarcus Lawrence have?
So if all you care about is the sacks, I can't argue. There's nothing I can argue with you about that.
That's.
Right.
Ain't that what we paying him for?
You're paying for him to make plays, and part of making plays out there is not just sacks, but apparently most of the people in the nation only care about sacks. When in a league where the sack numbers for real isn't king anymore. Sack numbers are not king anymore. It's only king when you.
I like tackles for losses too. I give him those.
He gets a ton
I said that they are sacks.
He gets a ton.
But Micah Parsons came in here and ran past all of those numbers, bro.
Yeah, but you said you don't want to move him to defensive end.
I'm saying what you want is the numbers. Like, you count sacks. You don't count them from what position he gets them from. If he's getting them from the A gap, I don't care where he's lined up. He can line up in the A gap and get them. But you can line up another guy out there he can still be just as productive in the A gap.
Oh,
Micah Parsons.
I'm going to say that person can be just as productive as DeMarcus Lawrence.
Oh no! I'm saying Micah Parsons is going to be. He's a sack guy from now on. He's going to be in the backfield regardless of where they blitz him from or where the pressure's coming from. He's going to be that, and so is Randy Gregory. We can just say that, right? Again, they're going to be here.
If all you care about is the sacks, then I would be a huge mistake.
I'm thinking, listen, Jerry. You know Jerry Jones just like I do, bro.
Sure.
Jerry Jones don't pay big money for very long. He is the NFL, not for long, because you get a big check from Jerry. If your play declines to where he can justify not paying you that money, he is gonna do it, bro.
So
he don't pay big. Go ahead.
I'm gonna put you in one more bind because we're glossing over my guy here, and I don't want to do this to you. But Randy Gregory missed a lot of games too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
who got the upside?
What do you mean? I'm just saying, Randy Gregory missed a lot of games too. Has missed a lot of games in his career. Has been injured, and he's about to be 30 years old.
Yep.
So, do you not sign him back?
No, you sign Randy Gregory back. Because we still haven't got the best out of Randy Gregory.
So what's the difference? Both injury-prone dudes who are on 29, 30 years old and going to cost a lot of money.
I want to see the best out of Randy, bro. He's a prison 29. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't been playing. He's been sitting on the sideline. He don't have a little bit. He hasn't been our war daddy for the last, like he's missed games because of weed.
Whereas
no.
I'm just
D-Law's missed games because he's been beating his body up for us. You know what I'm saying?
This year, Randy Gregory's missed games because he's been hurt.
But injury,
and he got hurt his rookie year as well. He got hurt. But I'm talking about DeMarcus Lawrence came in the league with a back problem, and he's been having he's banged up.
Yeah,
that is fair. The injury concern is definitely a fair concern. And if you're about just sacks, that is also another thing that you can go into the table if I'm Jerry Jones and say, well, DeMarcus, you missed, 10 games this year. You only got 4 sacks, and you're 30. I think he'll be, 29, 30 years old, whatever.
And restructure for me, buddy.
I think he would. I don't think
that's fair.
Listen, players don't care about restructuring. You know why?
Because they get paid up
money.
They get cashed out right
money.
there.
So I'm all about restructuring it, but I ain't about cutting him or trading him.
I wouldn't cut him. If he restructures. I said if he won't restructure.
Okay. So if he doesn't restructure.
Just like Jalen wouldn't restructure, Jalen's gone because he wouldn't restructure his deal at all.
Jalen was a bum. I don't know how much. I don't know. Like
that's not why he was gone. He's gone because
you a bum getting paid too much.
And he wouldn't take that. No, it was the injury clause. He wouldn't take the injury clause off of his deal. They wanted him to remove it. And that was like his only thing that was like handcuffing. So that's why they cut him. It was business. But either way, I'm not saying Jalen is like on the same level as a D-Law. I wouldn't say that. But at the end of the day, bro, if he won't restructure, that would be the obvious choice is to get him out of here. Bro.
Oh,
that's what they would do to him.
Please,
that's what they would do, bro. That's what they would do, bro.
If we win the Super Bowl, Akoye, I don't give a damn what they do with this team. I'm gonna just
keep it. Me neither. Me neither. But right now, that's the conversation. And I'm a Taurus, so I'm stubborn, man. I don't know what you are, but I'm a Taurus.
No, I got a sister who's a Taurus. I used to be with a Taurus, so I know how it is.
Oh yeah, we don't let shit
I'm a
go,
Scorpio, so we just.
Oh, you are opposite. That's why, man. That's why we keep canceling each other out. You're my opposite sign, man. That's the cancel out, man. My best friend is Scorpio, man. It's crazy. No. He a lawyer at that, so y'all motherfuckers can y'all MFers can argue.
We can debate our ass off.
Yeah, for sure.
We can debate our ass off. But listen, y'all, I know y'all probably like this done turned into a whole nother thing. I appreciate
There's some good sound bites in there though, man.
A whole lot. But this was great talk. And I think me and Jesse did this on the post game. We were just talking. Like it wasn't scripted, we didn't have any talking points. It just kind of came out. And we were like, wait a minute, and we kind of were going back and forth. So I like those conversations. I like those conversations. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I ain't gonna get to no more A to Z #A to Z's. Those are done now. But I did miss. There was
killed him.
Yeah, Akoye killed them A to Z's, bro.
He said prison 29. I spit my coffee out.
What'd he say?
Because I said he a prison 29.
Oh, prison 29.
Because his body he ain't really 29. He really like 23. You know what I mean? In the body. He ain't been getting beat up.
I did miss some super chats, so my apologies. DJ's World, brother, if you are still around.
Super chat.
Thank you, good brother. He dropped a 50 piece in the super chat and said, if the offense never gets going again, how deep of a playoff run can the Cowboys make with the defense being as elite as they have been the past weeks? If they're that elite, I think they can go the whole way.
Yeah, for sure. They can change. They change games. And one thing we don't talk about enough, teams got to ice up before and after they play us, bro. Son. Because we've been injuring everything that we play. Like when you play us, people don't finish games when they play against us, bro. And that's almost in every game I've seen. We catch a body almost every game. Waller didn't finish that game. McLaurin didn't finish last game with us.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Heineke
the center didn't finish the game. Heineke didn't finish the game. Like we tear teams apart.
Last week they had to bench Mike Glennon. That boy was getting hit so much.
Glennon didn't finish the game. You feel me?
Yeah.
You feel me? They tore Saquon up. Like they tore him up twice. He didn't finish the game the first time. You know what I'm saying? So we hurt teams. It's not just we're just out here defending. Like we are physical. So, Jordan Lewis tore Ricky Seals Jr. whatever his name was. Yeah, Brown was hitting him, and Jordan Lewis came and hit him while his head was already in the dirt. He didn't finish. They just didn't notice he went out the game because they didn't call it an injury. He got his bell rung.
One of the things I said a few weeks ago was that if this offense continues to kind of be what it is, then and you go into Lambeau, you're going to need your defense to be historically elite. And technically, he asked the question: if the defense is what it is now, which is right now, it's historically elite. You're getting 12 turnovers. You're getting 4 turnovers a game on the road in the last month of the season. You go to Lambeau and you get 4 turnovers. I do think you're winning that game.
I mean, if you lose a game with 4 turnovers, fire Dak. Then you can start talking about getting rid of everybody, get rid of your whole offense.
It's unprecedented.
Fire somebody.
So if they play like this anywhere in the playoffs, fam, you can go the whole way like this. Then there was one more
super chat
by I can't pronounce this. Jubok, I don't know, man.
Chewbacca.
Timus Prime. Jaboctimus Prime?
Jaboctimus Prime.
Jaboctimus Prime. There we go.
Jaboctimus Prime. There we go.
Jaboctimus Prime with the A to Z.
Don't
hashtag.
fight him. He'll rip your head off. That's a name right there, bro.
He might be
hurt
from Wakanda.
He in a cell right now. Like, man, this all I get to do is watch you.
Watch y'all.
And eat this orange. Like,
I was just chilling with Randy last year. That's why he a prison 29.
Get your weight up, son.
He said, "Do you think we overdo screens?" Yes. Plain and simple.
We're not even a screen team, and we throw them. We run them all the time. Smoke screens, all kinds. It's like Bubba from Forrest Gump. He's like, we got smoke screens, we got running back screens, we got tight end screens. And none of them work.
Red zone screens, quick screens, any kind of screens you want. It's not going to be successful, but we got options. What the hell are we doing? These dudes think we out here Andy Reid and Sean Payton. What we doing?
They don't never work. Like, why are we running these jokes? Like, I want to hit somebody like Harlem Nights. We're like, don't shoot that little shit no more. When we start hitting boy with the hat, like, don't shoot that little shit no more.
What my man do in Harlem? Yeah, that's the one.
He said they shooting Tommy guns, and he like pop. They like, don't shoot that little shit no more. I swear to God.
Listen, let's do a
I'd
wager.
rather run the ball than do that, man.
Let's have a wager, bro. Let's have a wager chat. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe we'll figure it out tomorrow on Fan Friday. The first time we get down to the red zone, at any point in time we get down to the red zone.
Don't do it. You gonna do it.
Let's wager something.
He gonna do it, bro. I'm not betting you on that because he's gonna do it.
There's going to be a screen at some point in this game on Sunday on the first red zone possession.
That means he's scripting them at that. They scripted.
Exactly. So we're gonna do something fun with that. I'm gonna do something fun. If it happens, I don't know. I'll wear something crazy. I don't do something wild on the show on Monday.
Because that's crazy, man.
The trend is there, brother. It's there. We got all types of screens.
Oh, man.
All right, man. I'm done now. I'm done.
Appreciate it. This is my funnest, man. I ain't laughed that hard since the last one.
Nah, that one you just said about the screens is hilarious because it's true.
Yeah, that's a fact, bro.
So
you got all kinds of screens.
What kind of screen you want?
None of them work, man. That's crazy. He threw a screen to a hitch to CD Lamb. CD Lamb is out in front. You see the blockers all behind him converging.
Oh my God!
Like, ain't nobody blocking for him while they out there, bro. You got Beyonce try to run full speed to get in front of CD Lamb,
bro.
And then all the corner did. The corner just stood there. Fuller just stood there and just hugged Lamb. Like, what the hell? I ain't
gonna say the word, but you remember what boy said. I ain't never in the history of Gadum seen somebody throw a self screen. That's what that was. It was a self screen. It was here, CD. They coming later, but you go figure it out. You know what?
Wait for it. The cavalry coming.
The cavalry coming, CD. All right, y'all. Listen, man. This was a freaking amazing show as always. Koya, these things is getting crazier and crazier and better and better as we go.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I love these things, man.
I don't get to talk football to myself. I'll be by myself screaming at the screen. But when I get to talk to you, I actually get to work my ideas out.
Work them out,
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, a lot of the times what I do is I'll come back from the show after and I'll be like, yeah, me and Akoye was talking about, and that'll spark some things and we'll get into conversation.
Same here. It gives me stuff to break down. I like it.
Yeah, good stuff today, man. Appreciate y'all in the chat for all those who stuck around. Some people might have hit the exits, like, you know, when it's a blowout, like the show was already almost done. We had a great show. They might have hit the exits. Y'all might want to tell your friends to come back and finish this last 30 minutes. Of the show, was crazy because that was some 43
minutes. This 11 o'clock have been on fire for sure.
So make sure y'all tell your friends to come back and watch this thing and run this thing back. Appreciate the donations. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out. Make sure y'all subscribe to Akoye Media. Tell them where they can find you, Akoye, everywhere.
At AKOYE. And remember, Akoye Media stands for accumulated knowledge over years of experience. Shout out to all my Nigerians out there, man. Do your thing. Getting that PPP money. Stevie Matt, appreciate that.
I'm about to turn off the goddamn.
You know they the G's with that, bro. PPP and NFT.
All them emails. I can give you the world.
Yeah, I'm a prince and I need $45,000 just to move to America.
One of them dudes finessed an airline. They said he bought an entire air. Go look it up. Go look it up. Anyway, where else can they find you, Akoye? I done interrupted your outro.
Oh, you can find me on IG under the same name, Akoye Media. On there, man, it's even more the same. I'm a funny IGer. I'm not a football IGer, man. I talk a lot of trash. So if you're into that and you just want to see how I move around out there, man, definitely follow me on IG. And I'm getting into the hang of TikTok a little bit. I'm starting to get into the reels and all that. So TikTok is Akoye Clips. That's Akoye CLIPS.
Now,
I spelled that right.
I'm gonna press the button and we're gonna get out of here properly. Hey, appreciate y'all for joining. And make sure y'all check out A to Z Sports Primetime tonight, Mauricio Rodriguez. And then tomorrow morning, 8:15-ish, I'll be back on here. Fan Friday. We'll give our final thoughts heading into this Washington matchup. Oh, Fan Friday. It's Fan Thursday because I'm off on Friday, so I'm tripping, y'all. I'm tripping. My head all over the place, man.
Thanks.
Hit the like button on the way out, man. Love y'all. We out of here. Peace.
Hey, man. That was funny as hell, man.
Smoke screens. Pitch screens.
I want me some glory hole.
And I want me some screens.